Redline Radio LLC is proud to partner with Growing Wings Adult Services for the creation of our brand new state-of-the-art production studio. Growing Wings Adult Services has been assisting adults with disabilities in the Northeast Ohio area for the past 5 years. For more information on how Lisa and the team at Growing Wings can assist your family, you can contact Lisa at 234-334-7547 today. Detroit Auto Parts is the official parts store of Red Line Radio LLC. They have 2 convenient locations on the east side. You can call 216-531-7373, or on the west side, call 216-398-7373. Mention Red Line Radio and receive 10% off your purchase. It's the official home and auto parts store of Red Line Radio LLC. If you need any custom t-shirts, banners, stickers, anything like that made, then you reach out to Incredible Keepsakes. As Diane always says, cherished moments are made to last forever. You can reach Incredible Keepsakes at 440-242-9648 or check out their website at incrediblekeepsakes.com. And don't forget to mention that Redline Radio sent you. For all of our programming information, you can check us out on all social media platforms. You can listen to all of our great programming and live 24-hour music on the Redline Radio LLC app. You can find it on the Google Play Store, but you can also check us out at redlineradiolllc.com, where we are always live.
This is really gross, but dirty trash cans can pose a serious health risk to you and your family. The pungent smell can attract rats and flies, not to mention maggots, both of which can contain dangerous diseases transferable to humans. Your dirty trash can is susceptible to harboring dangerous bacteria. Contact Brandon at Fitz Trash Bin Cleaning today at 440-752-1533. Or find them on Facebook. Veteran-owned.
Talking of balls. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talking About Balls. I am Justin George, joined as always by Kyle Price and Tim Buck2. And this week we are honored to have Grape from The Grapevine.
Hey.
Friday nights, 6 to 8, Redline Radio, Studio One.
Absolutely.
He is a Studio One alumni.
That is me. I like it over there for certain reasons, but
He holds it down.
it's not like y'all. Y'all fucking rock over here. Can we say that on your show?
Hell yeah. Say whatever the fuck you want.
Well, fuck yeah.
I say way worse than that.
We don't curse in this show, so we have a fucking quarter jar in the back somewhere.
Yeah, this is like gospel sports. That's what we do over here. It's very, very calm. We don't swear at all. No, dude, say whatever the fuck you want.
We have a song breakout coming in about 5 minutes.
We have a whole choir comes in. It's a whole thing.
Or like, if you want to get down on these heavy
listen to that.
balls.
He needs to be in the choir, I think.
On my balls, right?
Yes, sir. All right. Well, we are live. And again, this is Grape from the Grapevine, Friday nights, Redline Radio. I was on his show last week. Happy as hell to do it. It was a great time. I'm
Excellent time.
honored to have you with us, man.
Man, it's on my
Look at you guys bringing the Red Line family together
That's the way
one
to
show
do
at
it.
a time.
That's what we do.
That's what we do around here, man. We rock
So,
out.
in honor of Grape being here, Grape is a little bit of a conspiracy theory fan. He loves that shit. He taught me things last week that I'd never heard of, never thought I'd hear in my life. And I figured, what a great opportunity. I called up my friend Chopper Chuck. Chopper Chuck is going to do us the pleasure of taking us down to Conspiracy Carl's bunker at the break.
I wasn't told of this. Does this mean I have to leave again?
Yeah, unfortunately, Kyle's not welcome
I'm
in there.
never invited down there.
No,
It's weird.
Kyle, last time we were there, or first time Kyle actually got to meet Conspiracy Carl, he basically told him he's full of shit. They got into a heated argument. Kyle called him a flat earther. Conspiracy Carl does not like that. So
It started a whole
those are-
drama.
those are
he's
fighting
gone,
words to a
100%.
conspiracy
He
theorist.
bounced. He said
He threw the
Project
whole-
Bluebeam is a
He
scam.
threw the
Shit, those are fighting words.
he
said-
threw the whole QAnon book at me, and
He said
it was
Osama
over,
bin Laden was 100% behind 9/11.
Absolutely no kind of fuckery involved.
So Kyle is banned from the bunker,
All right, well, that
unfortunately.
sucks. So I guess it's a short night for me then. So that's
Yeah,
good.
Kyle's only going to be here. That's why Grape is here, because Grape is allowed access into the bunker. So we're going to head down at the halfway point of the show. We can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, Grape, tell everybody a little bit about yourself while you're here.
Well, I am, as you said, Grape from Redline Radio LLC's Grapevine. That is every Friday night, 6 to 8 p.m. at Studio One. Me and my wife over there, who doesn't really do too much, and she thinks she's really funny, and she should probably try comedy. We try to hold it down, and I have an assistant named Dre. Tune into it. You might be pleasantly surprised. We got a pretty good lineup for the rest of the week. And we'd like to appreciate you again for coming. That show was doing great numbers, too.
Absolutely, man.
That show was everything,
Anytime,
bro.
anytime, dude. That was so much
Next time
fun.
we're going to have to get you on.
Dude, I tuned in for a while and I kind of like watched it. And as soon as
I didn't see Kyle's comment. I didn't know he was trying to talk to us.
Yeah, I
After the show, I text him. I'm like, shit, I just saw it pop up.
probably should have called.
I tried to chime in a little bit. No, I was actually driving. I shouldn't have been watching in the first place, but that's okay.
The dangerous
I was
around
trying to
there.
help out with the views and ask some questions and shit like that. So
But we appreciate
trying to
you.
do my part.
100%, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
man, definitely. Thank
Thank
you
you for
having
joining us.
here. Hey, no worries, man.
Absolutely. Happy to have you in studio, too. Is this your first time?
No, actually, I've been here with at least in Sugar and
Oh,
Spice.
okay. No shit,
Yeah,
okay.
It's pretty nicely in here. I like it.
I love it.
Yeah,
We got Timbuktu running the board, killing it as always.
yeah.
Tim vacuumed in here right before he got here. It was
You know,
beautiful.
I'm a little biased, but best producer at Redline Radio, in my opinion. He gets my vote.
Hey,
Absolutely.
I told everybody with the voting for the Ohio Entertainment Awards, get on there and don't just vote for the shows at Redline.
Hell no.
Vote for the men
Everybody.
behind the scenes, and that is, of course, Timbuktu. Vote him for best producer. I don't even know if that's a category, but fucking make it a category.
If not, you'll be hearing from us.
Goddamn right.
Do we know when the nominations come out? Like everyone's put their like word.
No
in,
idea.
I
don't
think
know
they
yet.
last for about a month until like the 23rd.
and then they come out with
Okay.
like the actual stuff to
Yeah.
vote on. Okay,
I believe so. Don't quote me on that.
I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to
I honestly don't. I have no idea. I think we're going to hopefully do some decent numbers. I think we had a lot of support.
it for sure.
We'll see.
If not, we'll sweep the trappies.
Got that right.
Oh, yeah.
If no one from Redline makes it, I'm boycotting those awards for the record. I am loyal. So
Are
the
these,
award show,
awards they give out in person? Like we can physically go boycott it, like
Oh, yeah.
stand outside.
I hope so, because I'm starting to write my speech. So I'm expecting a win.
I'm about to go steal me a suit.
I was doing the prep work for the show here, and then I was like, you know
not
what?
borrow,
In case I
not-
win,
not rent,
let's get the
steal.
speech
I
going.
like
So I
it.
started filling out the back page. I'm ready to roll. And then if not, yeah, we burn that fucker down. I'm not having it if Redline's not a part of it.
If it's not a part of it, it must be some sort of a conspiracy.
Oh,
We're starting it early.
save that for the
Fuck these
bunker, fellas.
conspiracies.
Save that for the
Let's move
bunker.
on.
All right. So the Cleveland Browns in the Baker Bowl pulled it off. 1-0, nail biter, good game. That man right there, Cade fucking York. Best rookie the Browns have had in ages, honestly.
How
I
about
mean,
that?
Were you nervous?
yes and no. I mean, I made some notes here to talk about, obviously, for the game, the Browns defense, 3 bad plays.
I was asking, were you nervous when they lined up at 58 yards
Oh,
out?
honestly, not really.
Yeah.
For me, it was like a make or break moment. I was excited, and I was kind of just like, let's see what kind of leg this kid has. If he misses it, it's almost a 60-yard kick. I'm not going to be mad about it. That's kind of how I look
like
at it.
the story of he went up to Brissett and said, "Just get me to the 40."
Yeah.
That's it. Get me to the 40. And at
just-
that point, that's a 50-yard kick right there.
There
so.
was truly, hand to God, there was a sense of relief for me when we drove down and got in field goal range because
Yeah.
that doesn't happen when you had Baker Mayfield.
No.
Absolutely not.
That shot of him on the sideline holding his collar is so familiar as a Browns fan because I watched him do that as we've lost miserably for the last 4 years, and I got to see Cade York go out there, and again, 60-yard field goal. I'm watching it, I'm going, let's see what this kid can do.
Dude,
Worst case,
he
Jacoby
had
Brissett with
10 more yards in that
2
leg,
minutes
too.
to go. Jacoby Brissett got us in field goal range.
Yeah.
That didn't happen with Baker. He'd
Well,
throw an interception.
He
He'd
did
turn
get
it
us
over.
in range, but that penalty also got us closer in range, though, too. So.
Yeah, but a lot of people say that was a shitty call because Jacoby Brissett may or may not have actually gotten roughed, but they could have called a penalty on Donovan Peoples-Jones getting pushed over
Sure.
late.
Well,
So
then
multiple flags could have been
we
thrown.
also got kind of bailed out, too, by that intentional grounding non-call. So
Did you watch the clip, though?
He took a step, and then
You're allowed to take one step. You're not allowed to drop
he
back.
faked it, and then he stepped back and then threw it down. I think that's where they were saying that should have been called intentional
It
grounding.
just looked funky, but when you watch the angle from the front,
Yeah.
it was just a spike. I mean, he took a step back, looked. He didn't actually even fake it. He just stepped back, looked, and then spiked it.
Not trying to be negative Nancy here. I'm just throwing out.
No, I
the,
agree. I watched
it was
from
a very
every angle,
It was a
and
very
that's the other thing,
interesting
too.
2 minutes of the game.
I feel the tides have turned for Cleveland Browns fandom.
Oh yeah.
We drove down and won the game in the last second field
and I
goal.
just want to point out that I'm drinking.
That doesn't. Yeah, he bought that specifically for you.
just for you.
Oh yeah, my
He's got a
man's
great
in there.
drink.
Woo! Hey, I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret. Negative Nancy over there. I'm telling her, listen, the Browns are gonna pull it off today. They never win their opening game. They never win their opening
she's
game.
not
she
wrong.
Maybe I
for
should
17
boycott her.
years.
The last 17 years, we were 0-16-1.
She is a
But
Steelers fan.
But I told her,
She's a
yeah,
what?
Steelers fan.
maybe we should boycott her. Yeah.
Well, you might want to tune into the Steel City Running Lates on Sunday night. Which, matter of fact, while we're on the topic, hopefully they're on time because Kyle and I will be joining them from 7 to 8. We'll only be there for an hour. We'll be doing it via stream because
Yep.
they got a full house. They got a lot of meat in
that's
this
gonna be
stew.
a
You know what I
good
mean?
one.
They got a lot
That's
of
gonna be a
beef
good
beef
one.
sitting around his table.
But
We
how
can't
late
join
they
in.
usually are to start the show, I'm afraid we're only going to get like 20 minutes of airtime.
Probably.
But any minute of us on the show obviously makes it better. It's going to pump up those numbers. They need it right now.
And I'll damn sure be
The
watching.
Steelers, they're not a very good team. They got extremely lucky on Sunday. They lost TJ Watt for a huge chunk of the season, which is going to, I mean, that's their whole team right there.
Yeah, they have nobody.
They're not good without TJ Watt. Their season's just about done before it started. So
I wanted them to
I'm
play.
happy to
I
join
wanted
them.
them to play another overtime so more people get injured.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I was hoping Minka Fitzpatrick would do
The
something.
more they played, the more they got hurt. And fuck those two teams. I don't care.
So Adam
No,
brings
no
up
offense
exactly,
to anybody in the peanut gallery
Don't
back
worry, I
there.
have plenty more to say about the Steelers when we get to that. Adam brings up exactly where I was going. It just feels weird to be on this side of it because I saw so many years you couldn't get close enough for a field goal with the kickers we had years prior.
Yeah.
Baker would turn the ball over on a game-winning drive. We went down confident, got into the position, and on top of it, we won with a weird penalty that went for us
Yeah,
for once. How many
right,
times do we
sure.
lose a game because of some fucked up penalty? Dwayne Rudd throwing his helmet. I mean, what was it? The field goal with Justin Tucker. He kicked that bomb against us. Wasn't there a penalty like right at
Yep,
the end of that
and he
Monday
missed
night
that
game?
one. Yeah,
and
and
then
then
he got
he-
a second chance and
They
made it.
Put it right through. Yep.
So we get fucked on the last second in so many games. It feels weird to be on the other side, but I think that's the new era of Cleveland Browns
I
football.
feel a lot of the old Baker bros had a rude awakening that first half of the game.
I think a lot of them might have slept in because they were real fucking quiet for the first
Weren't they
hour of that
crickets,
game.
right?
I didn't
Fucking
see
crickets.
shit about that dude.
A lot of people, like a couple of people I know who are Baker fans per
Mm-hmm.
se, were watching that game. I was watching it with some people who were like, "Damn, that looks familiar. Oh, that looks familiar. Wow, that looks familiar." Like what? The batted down balls, the overthrown interceptions, the underthrown balls to the ground. Yeah, no, that's
Win's a win, Adam. You said it. I'll
That's
take
true.
it anyway. I look at it as if you win by 1 or you win by 100, it's just a W in the book. That's all it is.
On
One
the
hurts the
week,
most
too.
to the loser.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
I would hate to lose by one. Blow me out.
As
Like,
long as I'm the
oh,
winner.
yeah.
If I'm on the losing end, beat me
Oh,
by a million.
yeah, please do. Not
If
that
I'm
fuck-
winning,
that
I don't
fucking-
give a
oh,
shit.
geez,
Yeah.
that one.
Although it is a little like I did feel the heart palpitations a little bit watching the game. I was nervous
That's
as
what
fuck.
it's all about, though,
But
right? That adrenaline.
I wasn't that nervous when he was lining up to kick. I really wasn't. I was very confident.
Well, when I saw that ball go wide right, and then I saw it dive right into the middle, I'm like, okay, he's done this multiple times.
When they
We're
were
good.
talking, they were like, Cade York before pregame, they're like, he was lining up from 70 and nailing them. And I'm like, this is only 58. That's nothing.
Yeah,
like,
he
sign
said
me
he had
up.
like 10 more yards in the kick, right?
Sure shit.
Yeah,
Drills
he,
it
he cleared that goalpost with at least a good
Easily.
10 more yards to go.
easily.
Yeah.
And then,
Play soccer or something?
I mean, he should.
Right.
If his NFL career gets cut short, he could at least be an extra on Ted Lasso next season. But, I mean, what a win. You're 1-0. It does suck. Again, I wrote down 3 botched plays by the defense was the only reason that they were in that game, Carolina.
Yeah.
You had, of course, the tight end, Ian Thomas, broke up the middle. No one covered him. It's going to happen. Can't let it be consistent, but it happens. Second play, they fumbled. Christian McCaffrey just picks up a fumble and runs
23
50 yards.
Oh, was it 50? I was like 30,
I don't remember.
maybe
It
30
felt like
something,
50. I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah. Well, the fact that he got up the middle with that picked up and like
Yeah,
right
it was a shotgun snap
like
to
the Red
Baker.
Sea parted and he just
Yeah.
went. Yeah, it's
Baker
crazy.
couldn't handle it because he's got those tiny little Kenny Pickett hands, and the ball skipped up to him. Christian McCaffrey picks it up, runs 30 whatever yards, and then that sets him up in a good scoring position. And then we have right after we score, one play, Robbie Anderson touchdown because of another busted coverage by the defense. Can't let that happen.
Yeah, that was
It's killer. I mean, look at the scoreboard.
miscommunication in the secondary because I believe Johnson thought he had the help over the top
Yes.
or whatever, so he came in, and then boom, Anderson broke right through the middle, and of course Baker got lucky enough to see over the line for 2 seconds, and
I know.
he was
How
able
great
to
would that have been
hit
if that
the-
ball
hit
got
the ball.
batted down?
Right, wide open down the field and
Wide
it gets
open
batted down.
touchdown, and somebody fucking swatted
The
it back
fact
in his
that
face like
Clowney,
Mutombo.
I think Clowney had like 4 swatted balls or 3 swatted balls.
Yeah, I mean,
hilarious to me.
It's shit that I had to deal with last year with arguing with Baker fans, where Baker would get sacked, Baker would get the ball stripped, Baker would throw it off the defender's hands, and everyone's going, oh, that was this guy. He didn't block well enough. He didn't do this. They blamed everybody else. Now they're seeing it on the other side. It's happening with an entirely different team. How do you keep blaming anybody but Baker? He's the common denominator.
I think those Baker fans are starting to quiet down just a little bit now. So.
They got a little sassy in the second half, and then they were put right back in their place with that Cade York kick, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah, that was great.
That was a great game. A couple things, obviously, passing offense looked a little out of sync,
Yeah.
and that's putting it
We
mildly.
had a passing offense. Can you talk more about that?
I'm hoping that was just lack of preseason play. They got to get it out of their system. They got to get up to speed. The NFL's a fast game when you don't play for a month, or technically almost a full season for some of the guys like Amari Cooper. It's got to be tough, I imagine. And Carolina's defense is actually really good. It's no slouch. I know they're not a very good team on offense, but their defense is actually one of the better ones in the NFL.
So I don't know if you noticed or not, but the NFL app now has the NFL Plus.
Yeah.
And if you get the subscription, you get the All 22.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back and watched most of the Browns game just in the All 22 version where they have different angles of every play.
Sure.
Amari Cooper,
Oh, he's one of the best
one of the
route
best route
running
runners
wide
ever.
receivers
He was that one play where he basically juked the defender out of his shoes, and he was wide open down the fucking field, and he got overthrown the ball. That right there are the things that I think that Jacoby needs to clean up just a little bit. The accuracy over the top.
Sure.
I know he's afraid to throw the ball down the field, but I mean, had he hit him on stride, Cooper was gone.
A couple plays like that, actually, where we were wide open. I think, who was the other one? Kareem Hunt broke down.
Yeah, out to the side.
Wide
yeah,
open.
yeah.
Luckily, there was a penalty on the play, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, but I mean, you could see the frustration a little bit in Hunt
It's
because he's
just-
wide open down the
It's
field.
the timing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping, that week one they get the jitters out, they get more acquainted with each other, they get more comfortable, and then we go from there. What's his face? Demetric Felton sucks as a punt returner. I'm over
Dude,
that experiment.
I wrote that.
I'm over that. Week one.
Hold on, where's it at? I wrote it down here too. I don't trust Felton. Not a fan of Felton on the return game. The first 2 times he got
First
kicked
two,
to,
he
I
was
said
diving.
he's fucking fumbling that
He
next
couldn't
one.
read the ball, and then Dan said the same thing. Dan's like, I don't really like how he's catching up today.
The
Next
first-
one he fumbles.
Yeah.
Then he catches one, and then he ends up getting like 20 yards out of it. But still, that doesn't make up for the other 3 shit ones.
Absolutely not.
I don't like him back there. I understand we lost Jakeem Grant, but I look at it, how fucking hard is it to find a guy to return kicks and punts?
Special teams?
Hey,
Yeah,
Like-
there's kids coming out of college every year who are just quick, they're fast, they can catch. That's all you need.
Josh Cribbs put his name in the hat. I think
I would
last
take
week.
Josh Cribbs back at this point, honestly, after what Demetric Felton did.
Yeah, no, I was not a fan of the return game. The special teams, just in general, and just kick returns and punt returns, a little sketchy at best. But
Yeah,
they'll get
return
better.
game, but on the other side, the actual kicking, Bjorkes, whatever the hell his
Dude,
last
that
name
punter
is.
has a fucking leg.
He's got the strongest leg for the last, I think, 3 seasons or something like that. He has registered the longest punt in football.
He's accurate
every
too.
year
He
he is
coffin
the-
corners them pretty
Yeah.
well down there.
And he's got, like, what they say before the game, he's hit, like, in his career, 90-something kicks inside the 20. So he's just adding on to those numbers. Dave, the man, sharing the show.
Put Ford back there. I thought
Jerome Ford.
I think Ford did catch one.
He barely touched the field.
I know, but I think Ford did go back and do a kick return.
Yeah,
and I think he got positive yards too.
That I don't
maybe
remember,
10 yards or whatever, but he at least caught the ball and moved forward. So
yeah,
hey,
I mean they have to work on that. I totally understand. You lose Jakeem Grant, who you signed specifically to be your return man. He gets hurt. That's gonna obviously fuck up your plans. But I feel like there's got to be a better option back there. I don't care if you put a guy back there and just tell him never return the punt, just fair catch it. I would feel more confident in anybody other than Jakeem or than
put Bell back
Demetric
there.
Felton.
Just have him catch the ball.
That's it. Give me a sure-handed guy.
Just catch the ball.
That's all we need.
And if you want to just hand it off to a guy running behind you, that's fine. But you catch the ball, give it to somebody else to run it.
Honestly,
so you
don't even bother trying to look down. Literally, watch the ball, catch it, fair catch, done. End of discussion. Demetric Felton couldn't even do that. He's diving all over the fucking place. And, it was good weather. He looked like he was in a windstorm.
He wasn't even trying to fair catch it either. Like the one where the players were on him.
Yeah.
Like he should have tried fair catching it just to catch it. No, he dove forward to catch the ball.
I'm hoping that's lack of experience, but
It has to be.
I hope. But
yeah, but
we'll see going forward. I would also hope that in an NFL practice, they're telling him how to evaluate every scenario. Like if a guy's this close to you, definitely fair catch it. I would think they go over that. I hope. But
you see two giant guys running at you, try to fair catch it.
You might want to look out for them.
Definitely don't dive towards those fuckers.
But we did beat Baker Mayfield again. The first half was really embarrassing for Baker. Felt good coming from me. As everyone here can attest, I've been a Baker hater for the last basically 2.5 seasons. I started the trend before anybody else did. I saw that he was not a very good quarterback, and I was ready to move on then. It's come to fruition. He's in Carolina. Again, good quarterback, not great. You don't win Super Bowls with good quarterbacks. It's rare.
He'll be a carryover to next year because he won't probably be re-signed by the Panthers. And
yeah, Deshaun Jackson, there you go. I would sign him literally just to be our return man.
I just saw that list today of the available free agents out there, and yeah, he's definitely one of them. It's weird that the list has some pretty big names on it. Old names, but they're big names.
Especially because when we would sign him, we would never need him to line up at wide receiver. So just come in and return kicks. That's literally it. We're done.
Give him a 1-year deal for whatever and go out there and catch the ball, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. We signed a wide receiver to the practice squad. We made some moves, waived Herb Miller. Nothing really game-changing for us. Guys that probably won't see the field much. It is what it is. They got to get that punt returner solidified, though. That's my biggest concern, and obviously the passing game.
So the healthy scratch, too, into Ernest Johnson, that's the other thing that kind of threw me off before the game. Are they going to be scratching one of the two running backs every game?
As long as Demetric Felton's returning kicks, yeah, they're going to have to, because basically you have to consider Demetric Felton's half wide receiver, half running back, so you don't want to – you can't not dress him,
right.
And then you don't want to have 5 running backs in the game. Unless, honestly, the way we play on offense – it's probably not a bad idea to have 5 running backs and just keep them fucking going, keep them fresh.
And that's what I was thinking. It's like either if you're going to keep doing that, you just paid him. You know, you just paid him. You're going to keep scratching him if you just paid him, or are they looking to get Hunt's stock up a little bit more, and maybe move him here in a couple weeks? I mean, I don't know what the plan is.
I mean, I could see it like they're very analytical, so it could be something like. Maybe the way Carolina's defense is based.
I think Hunt's trade bait. I don't think Johnson's trade bait.
I think they both could be.
You think
they're both only on 1-year contracts?
Who would you move off of first, Johnson or Hunt?
Probably Johnson. He's got a much more friendly contract for the opposing team, and he's younger.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt, great player, but he's worth more money. Mm-hmm. Teams don't like taking a lot of money. I understand it comes off the books this year, and he's like 28, 26, something like that, which sounds young, but in running back years, that's an old man.
Well, I mean, for him, though, he's still young because he set out the year. You know, whatever. Then he only came, he's as a secondary option now. So the miles on his legs are not as much as a normal 28 running.
He's got miles on his legs and kicks with his feet, so his legs have seen a lot, and he kicked that broad in the head. That could be another reason why teams don't want him, honestly, because of the baggage. He has redeemed himself, but there are some teams that might just say we're absolutely not taking this guy on because of the backlash.
Who's the running? Is it the running back or the receiver out of Kansas City is also a kicker? You just made me think of
he's
players.
A safety, Justin Reed.
Oh, yeah. So he's the only player in history to make a field goal, a punt, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. Return a punt, return a kick, and something else. Or whatever.
Hell of an athlete. I mean, he was out there kicking him. Unless they sign somebody else, he's kicking tomorrow night because they already said Harrison Buckner's not playing.
Yeah, I just got the alert on the way over here because I have Buckner
Thursday
as my
night football,
kicker.
or Kansas City, against Los Angeles Rams, or Chargers. Justin Reed, I think, is the kicker officially, who is the safety.
Sorry, you're
a hell of an athlete.
Players kicking things made me think of that when I just saw that.
No, that's a good thing. We'll talk about that because that might come into play on who I'm picking. We'll see what happens. It's a little teaser for you people at home. All right, moving on from the Browns game, Kyle wanted to talk about the Guardians a little bit. The Guardians are hot.
Every week, every show we do, it's this and then this and
Because
then
they're
this
playing
and then
shitty
this.
opponents. I have to be mean to the Guardians or else they don't win.
just last-
I have to bash them. It's very,
Well,
very
there it goes.
superstitious.
Just last week, we were talking about the Guardians. Season's over. Bum, bum, bum. Now this week, it's, hey, Guardians, they're in first place by 4 games. Season's going in the positive way now. So it's like every
Somewhat.
week, it's up and down.
So obviously we played the Twins over the weekend, swept them. Twins were second place, battling second place with Chicago. And then this last 3 games we played the Angels, who
Yeah.
of course suck ass. They're not a very good team. And then we have the White Sox tomorrow, 1 game. 1 game, rain makeup game. White Sox are right on our tail for second place. Let's see what they can do against a little bit of a better team, somebody that's actually playing for something that hasn't given up on the season.
It's unfortunate that we couldn't gift Mike Trout that record. You know, he's going for 8 home runs in a row. We couldn't just give him that, just throw him a little meatball out there and give it to him.
No, fuck Mike Trout. I love the guy. He's one of the best baseball players you'll ever see. But because he's out there in Anaheim, they don't win shit. Fuck him. I don't want him breaking any records. tell him to get to the playoffs.
It's great.
That's how it is in sports. You either get to the playoffs or none of those stats matter to
Not
me.
even a little bit.
So my question, reason I wanted to bring it up to you was my question was going to be posed is no matter what happens now, so they shit the bed the rest of the season.
Sure.
They don't win another fucking game. Are we considering this a successful season for the Guardians? Just based on all the young talent, they're the youngest team in baseball, all the success they have had.
Old school baseball guys are going to say yes. They're going to say, of course, you have this young team. They showed promise. They did this. They did that.
Sure.
Me, winning over everything.
Yeah.
You don't make the playoffs, that season's a
Nope.
fucking bust.
Fucking
That's
failure.
how I look at
Got
it.
it.
And it goes further than that. You make the first round of the playoffs and get swept. That's a shitty season. I don't care that you made the playoffs. You got swept.
You don't
got
care
embarrassed.
that nobody assumes you're going to be there. You have basically, other than Ramirez on your team, then nobody else that's
Correct.
really a big name right now. They're making some big names for themselves on this team.
Sure.
You don't think all of that aside, it's a failure if you don't go
Yeah,
deep?
because I've seen it before. I saw it when we had Lindor on the team and we had a loaded team. We had Andrew Miller. We went to the World Series. We lost. The next
yeah.
year, they added more people. They signed Edwin Encarnacion. We go to the playoffs. First round exit. Next year, first round exit. Those are not successful seasons for me. Just making the playoffs and losing, not good enough. I've seen it enough with these guys.
Okay.
I
think
Tito's been the man behind it. I give him all the credit.
Hell
for
of a
getting
coach
this-
that guy is.
Yeah, he's one of the best coaches in baseball, even though it's fucking managers. Kyle keeps
Greg,
calling coaches.
Greg, that one's for you, buddy.
But anyway, he's one of the best managers of all time. He can lead anybody. He's a great leader of men.
If he makes it to the end of the
But-
season, he keeps those outbursts going.
Well, yeah, when he went off on that ump the other day, he was going to have an aneurysm, it looked like. 'Cause you saw the veins throbbing in his head. He's yelling. All you saw his mouth go was, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. That's all he said to the
and then at
ump.
the
It
end of the
was so
game, his
good.
interview was great. He's talking about he like stepped on his toe or some shit like that.
Yeah,
That's what he's going off
They don't
on
like
him.
each other. But no, I mean, it's nice, something to build on. I wouldn't say successful season. I look at it as if you're a professional athlete, your job should be to go out there, be great, win.
Yep.
That's it. Every team should experience that. Look at the Orioles. The Orioles are having one of the best years of in the last 20 years. They're winning. They're young. They don't make the playoffs. Is it really successful? They had
Sure.
one hot year. Doesn't
Understandable.
mean much. It depends on how much you can turn it into long-term success. That's how I look at it.
Grape, you watch baseball?
I do.
Fan of the team?
That was my first sport. I'm a fan of
real?
the Guardians. Yeah, I was like MVP. Yeah,
Are they the Guardians to you or the Indians to you?
They're always going to be Indians.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I actually have a pretty dope ass story.
Sure. By all means.
Go
And I
for
have
it.
a picture I'm gonna show y'all later.
Okay.
Before they put the nets up,
Mm-hmm.
me and my nephew were sitting, I don't know, about 4 or 5 rows back, directly behind like first base. I mean, the home plate and third base.
Okay.
Fucking pop fly pops out. I caught it with my bare hands.
No shit.
Swear. And I had my nephew sitting there, and something told me like, have your phone ready.
Yeah.
I took the picture, and the look on my nephew's face. We were on Sports Center and everything.
No
For
shit.
real?
Yeah, I swear.
That's
and then,
fucking
I mean,
awesome.
when I say every time they popped the ball towards us, fans came from everywhere. Like, "Yeah!" And I think my nephew still has that fucking ball. It's like one of the proudest uncle moments
I've
ever.
caught foul balls and shit during batting practice. Never caught one during a game.
Dude, and it came
That's
to me in
something
like
I
slow
want that
motion.
so much.
I mean, it was like, and I was like, catch the ball or get hit in the nose.
Yeah,
Catch the ball,
honestly.
and I reached up and grabbed that fucker, and my hand stung for about 3 days.
Yep, that's gonna happen.
Take that.
Damn right.
Especially on TV, you got to handle like a man. Like,
Oh,
oh, this doesn't
yeah.
fucking hurt, and you're like, turn around and
I
like,
cried in the bathroom. I was like, come on, nephew, let's go get this thing on the
My
ground.
goddamn hand.
I'm just holding this ice cold beer for a minute. Don't mind me.
I mean, yeah, it was great.
I'm always
I'll show you
jealous.
pictures
I'm always
later.
jealous of the guys who have those cool catches, like the ones that catch in their beer, or if the bat goes flying off a player's hands, the
Or
guy's
like,
like one
who was the one
hands
who
it.
did that? He
Yeah.
saved
He was like
somebody's
holding,
face.
the one
Yeah.
dude's like holding his baby and a beer. drops the baby, kind of catches the ball, catches the baby again. Looked badass.
The whole
But it's one of those
time,
things
the
where,
whole
like,
time, the
if you
mother's
didn't
like, "You
catch that baby,
motherfucker."
that's a whole different news story we're watching.
Yeah, I mean, hold this.
It's like what you going through a split second thinking. Beer, baby, ball, beer. What's the most important part here?
Get another baby and another beer, arguably. But how about that fucking ball? You got one shot at that ball,
Oh,
right?
for sure. And it's embarrassing because if you don't get it, some kid's gonna get it. And then you look,
Yeah, these kids way faster. You think you really drop that baby trying to beat the kid?
right, sure.
And
Not clusterfuck, right?
not only kids get balls taken, apparently old men, because Dave says Chipper tried to catch a foul ball and Dave took it from him.
Oh shit!
Dave
You
had
let
a
Dave
post
take a
from
ball from
Yeah.
you?
Well, in Chipper's defense, he had to get up, he had to grab his walker. You know, it's a whole thing. He's a very old man. Shit
What's
happens.
up, Gribbs? How you doing, brother?
All right,
fucking
so
hilarious.
so the Guardians, to me personally, it's a playoff appearance is nice, but I don't know if I'm not throwing a parade.
Well, I think I saw the other day if they beat the White Sox and then they beat the Twins, just one more game each, then mathematically, based on whatever the new playoff format is, they hold the tie, and then they automatically get themselves at least guaranteed into the wild card game, no matter what.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see that. The only thing I saw is that our magic number is 18 right now.
It's 18 now, but they were talking about like if it come down to a tie or something, like they come close to records at the end of the season, they hold the tiebreaker against both those teams if they beat each of the teams one more time. So,
Okay. I mean,
whatever it is.
again,
What it
it'll be
is.
cool to see the playoffs, but as we've seen the last couple of weeks when we played playoff teams, like, such as the Mariners and who before them, the Yankees, we didn't play too long ago, got our asses kicked.
Here's the only thing looking in our favor is we get into a wild card scenario. We're playing probably Seattle. We're playing one of those whatever teams, and then that's a 3-game series, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
think
right?
it is,
Wild
yeah, if
card.
I'm not mistaken.
So then we beat them. We're playing. Then we'll be paired up against the Yankees, which we notoriously know the Yankees don't do well in the first round of playoffs.
Unless they're playing us.
That's also true.
Because
You're right.
for whatever reason, Shane Bieber gets hit like fucking batting practice when he's pitching to the Yankees in the playoffs.
We just gotta hope for
the dude,
some.
It was the Cy Young year. He wins the Cy Young first game of the playoffs. He goes and gets fucking shellacked by the Yankees. I mean,
just
they
have-
hit like 4 home runs off him in
What
like
was
2
that
innings.
season where the was it the Nats or the midge came?
Oh, the midges?
Yeah, the midges
That was
came and
against,
attacked
Jabba
the.
Chamberlain.
Oh, back
That
in
was
the
against
day.
Yankees. That was way back in the day.
That was
like,
awesome.
shit, I might have been in high
It was
school for that or
fuck
something.
off. It was like 2010 or some shit.
Okay,
like
I was
that.
out of high school. I mean, you're old, but not that old. I
God.
couldn't remember what year it was. I knew it was close. I graduated in 07, so
I'm not
it
even
was
40
close.
yet, so suck my ass. Let's go.
I know you're almost 50.
Jesus,
That's
and I'm like, hey, I graduated in 1996.
Oh shit, I wasn't even a freshman then.
Come on, man. I don't need this shit from y'all.
I was in elementary school, so
Need this shit. Come here to get abused by the likes of you people talking
Well,
about balls.
since you're so old, if you fall over, I got you on this side. He's
Say,
got you on that
jeez,
side.
yeah,
so.
hey, just don't drop me. Just catch that fucking ball.
Tim and myself
Catch the
hold
ball.
it down for the young
Yeah,
folks out
hey,
there.
Listen, man.
Us guys in our early 30s.
I think
Tim
Tim's
and
the young. I
myself.
think Tim's the youngest one here.
I think so, right? We're the same age, but you're a little younger.
Yeah, by like a month.
I'm
a month and a
33.
half.
Birthday's in March.
Yeah, 5 months.
Oh no shit. Okay, yeah, you are the youngest.
Oh, you babies. It's okay.
It feels nice. Feels nice, boys.
And I'm the oldest fucker here.
Well,
50
as you guys can
52?
see at home, we
Yeah,
don't
good
discriminate. We do allow antiques on the show with us, and here we are.
Here we are. I can't relate to nobody but Jose Canseco and Mark McGuire.
I'm talking baseball with guys who saw it from the very first game of baseball.
He loves
back in
Babe
the
Ruth because he
1800s.
was there for
Yeah.
Babe Ruth.
Hey, I'm talking about I'm used to old school leather fucking helmet football, buddy. And 23 rounds of bare knuckle boxing.
He remembers when the Browns won the championship back in the 60s.
Yep. Great,
Oh, yeah.
great taught Jackie Robinson everything he knew.
Run, motherfucker, run! You better fucking run. They gonna kill us if you don't, goddamn it.
He wore the number 42 because that's how old Grape was when he went to the Major League Baseball. So it was
I
an
can't
honor of
run
Grape.
balls to get my balls kicked in by these fuckers, huh?
We're talking about balls and busting balls.
what we
on the
do.
show
And
today.
old balls. How about that?
Yes. Very old, dusty balls. All right. We are going to recap week
Sit on
1
some time balls.
of the NFL. And Thursday night, Bills-Rams. A lot of people thought Super Bowl preview. If that's the case, then the NFC has a lot of explaining to do because the Rams looked like ass. However, when we did our picks, I called it. I said the Rams are going to go out there. They're getting the banner dropped. They're celebrating a championship.
gonna be
the
too
Bills
in the
are
moment.
still pissed off about how they lost to the Chiefs. The Bills are coming out and they want to prove and make a point to the world that they're a legit team, and they did just that because I think everybody and their brother has the Bills as the number 1 power ranked team right now.
The first
Yeah,
half of that
possibly.
game was kind of back and forth, give and take. But I think Buffalo just stuck to what was working,
Yeah, I mean, Allen
and they just
started
kept on
off
chipping
like,
and chipping and chipping, and they
he
finally
was like
everything
10
paid
for
off.
10.
Yeah,
He was looking great, threw a couple touchdowns,
Yeah.
and then the one interception was definitely not his fault. It was a drop ball,
Right.
and then he threw a bad pass. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, you're like, oh, Josh Allen's making some turnovers, maybe not MVP after all. And then they figured it out. They were fine.
Did you see that notorious Jalen Ramsey tweet come back up to resurface that it talked about when
Where he said like
he
Josh,
shit on Josh Allen when he got drafted?
Like
Yeah,
he said this guy's not going to be
and they
shit
said
in the
that he
NFL.
had a perfect passer rating against
yeah.
Jalen Ramsey anytime he was targeted.
Jalen Ramsey, of course, is known as one of the best corners in football. He does get smoked every now and then. He's getting a little older. I also give him a lot of credit because he was injured. They didn't even think he would be able to play on Thursday. He manned up and went out there. Did he hurt his team? Kind of looks like it. We got Dave, 1998. He graduated. Jeez. Man, I was 9 years old.
He looks his age, though.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, you graduated in 98? I at least thought 88 for you, man.
Elmar, Jasmine, hey, y'all. Thanks for joining us. These guys are great. You should tune in to them every week.
Hell yeah, thank you. All right. So the Bills beat the Rams easily, 31-10. I mean, that was a nice game. Thursday night, everybody gets to go to bed early and get up for work. Then we go to Sunday, where the real shit started. Upset special.
It was a very interesting Sunday.
It really was, because I do, you didn't hear it from me, I do illegal online sports gambling, because it's not legal in Ohio. So I'm out there
It's not illegal. I mean, it's legal on the site you're doing it on.
It's frowned upon. We'll put it that way. I like to do parlays where I pick like 4 or 5 games, and they all have to hit.
Yeah,
or
I
else
shit
you're
the bed
fucked.
of my parlays. So.
And I was sitting pretty until the upset started happening. I had one game that totally fucked me, and that was the Giants going for 2 against the Tennessee Titans.
Hey,
if they didn't win that game, I win my parlay.
Hell of a ballsy call on that one, though.
So I got a question.
Sure.
I want to say in January,
January
they're going
1.
to actually have
Yeah, it's going to be legal in Ohio.
yeah, I'm going to hit that fucking casino like a madman.
The casino's going under renovation right now.
It's
'cause
already
they're getting
being
ready
built.
for the sports book.
The queue already has if
Yep.
you haven't been downtown lately, in front of the queue, they have an entire section that's already built out to be a sports book that will be open, I think, like 14 hours a day. That won't have any connection to the queue. You can still walk into the queue if there's a game going on, but you can go to there anytime you want to. So they're going to have their own sports book going on. The one at the Jacksino is going to have kind of like a circa feel. It's going to have like the lounging chairs, big screen TVs. You can place your bets on where you're sitting at if you want to. Yeah, it's all going to be decked the fuck out. But January 1 midnight, as soon as the ball drops, it opens.
I know there's a bunch of bars that are like really close to my house that they've already signed up to get the sports booking at their place, so I can just go right down the street, have a couple beers, bet on sports. I can't wait.
Or you can just open up the app and download and submit your bets through DraftKings, FanDuel, whatever you want to.
Probably blow through my savings. My wife's gonna leave me.
That's the fear of every person.
That's going to be your new baseball card.
That's
type,
the American dream, man. That's what you do.
That's always like the big red flag that everyone's afraid of. Oh, they're gonna blow. Who cares?
You become a horrible degenerate gambler and you just lose everything.
That's a you problem.
Or when you hit,
or you do great and
But
next
when
your life
man,
changes. That's what I'm looking for.
Listen, I was a Nevada resident for 20 plus years.
Were you really?
Oh yeah,
I've only been there once.
Vegas. So we had party Friday, Saturday night, everybody and their mom was at a different sport book. Rail City, Circus, Cal Neva.
Dude, I went to
and
Caesars. I sat at Caesars and I watched sports all fucking day. I loved it.
I mean,
There's
it's
no
everywhere you
windows.
look.
I didn't look at my watch. I didn't know how long I was there.
The
free
air-
drinks.
Oh, that's the best
The
part.
air smelled
Oh, my
different. You
God.
just felt in heaven while you're there. Like, this is life
It's
right now.
so great. I was the fucking edibles and shit because weed's legal there.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Vegas. It was
Gotta love it. Gotta love
You
it.
smoke weed in the casino?
No, but you can
not
get
actual
edibles.
weed, but I was using the vape
The
pens.
vape, yeah, you can vape.
I was
in
hitting
there,
those
hell
everywhere.
yeah. I mean,
We'd go to CVS. I was buying tall boys, walking around everywhere. Oh, that was the best.
because they don't sell liquor on the strip. You got to go into like the liquor stores that's in like the malls or the
Yeah.
casinos.
I was just buying tall boys. I was so
Yeah,
fucking high. I got the sunglasses on. I just got a beer in my hand, man. I was
Did you
loving
go to
life.
the pool sports bar?
No, I didn't get to go to that
I'll
one.
be- I'll-
you gotta
I'll
go
be
to
there in
that
November.
one.
My buddy
The
at work
swim
told
up,
me
yeah.
about it.
It'll
He's
still
like,
be like 1,000 degrees.
Yeah,
It should
the
be
swim
cool.
up stadium there they have.
Oh,
the layered
yeah.
it's so nice. He
yeah.
showed me all the pictures. I wasn't able to make it
fuck
though.
yeah.
I was there for the NFL draft, so the main Las Vegas Boulevard was pretty much blocked off. They weren't allowing traffic, so I couldn't get an Uber to get anywhere. It was kind of a pain in the ass.
My cousin lives like 5 minutes from the stadium right there. Like it was a bitch getting through there when they were building it.
Yeah.
because just the traffic and shit.
It's
but
nuts. I mean,
we
I've never
started-
seen traffic like that.
Jeez, no, I mean like now you got UFC, you got everything else, but
Yeah.
now NFL Sundays in Vegas.
Oh, it was insane. Just
Just
being there for the draft was nuts. Like I said, they literally had, if you wanted to walk in the middle of the street, you could. They weren't allowing traffic.
Yeah.
And it was just wall-to-wall people.
Everybody, when you're in Vegas, like when you're a resident, everybody knows you go to your neighborhood casino and do everything. You don't go
Yeah.
to the strip. You stay off the strip. The strip is not for locals.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
Yeah, no, stay. We don't go there.
I actually did get to go to Old Vegas and hung out at like the Golden Nugget and all that
Yeah,
shit.
that's
I
where it's
loved
cool
it.
at. Oh, yeah.
I won big. I loved it. That was my favorite.
That's why I tell people to go get off the strip
It's
and
so
go
much
down to
cheaper.
downtown.
You're just
yeah.
having so much more fun.
You're going to see a bum fighter, too.
It's great. I
That's where we're
recommend-
staying at. We're staying at the downtown Grand in right
you
by
are?
Fremont
Okay.
Street.
The
That's
Fremont Street experience.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I was at the
hookers and all.
Mirage, and then we went to Old Vegas for the night. It was fucking awesome, dude. I loved it.
Yeah, zip line.
Yep, the zip line
Big
right
ass
over you.
screen right
Yep.
across the big screen.
It was sick, dude.
Oh,
I loved
yeah.
it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of Vegas, good game between them and the Chargers on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, we both picked, I think, the Chargers, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't even remember our picks from last week. So yeah, we both took the Chargers. Obviously, we both took New Orleans. That was a nail biter. The Falcons got off to like a 26-3 lead, and then
that was one of my comments. Is like a lot of good games to start, and then a lot of comebacks.
Yeah,
like
it was
a lot
crazy.
of weird
a lot
comebacks.
of like weird shit happened at the end of a lot of games. Like I mean, you have the Giants that went for 2.
Yep.
Who does that? Week 1 of the NFL, you kick the extra
A
point.
shovel pass go
you
for 2.
play for overtime, and you hope for the best. And
Yeah.
they said, "Fuck it."
We're going for it.
Everyone thinks we're going to lose by 100.
That's why he's going to be the
we're in
coach
it.
of the year. I called it last week when you corrected me.
You didn't even have his name
Ah,
right.
fuck off.
First off, you said the coach of the Bills.
But I said Dable, so
You did because you thought he worked for the Bills. He did technically, but he has since moved on. But no, I don't know if you saw his dance after they won in the locker room.
I saw part video when it was on Monday Night Football
That's
with
why he
Eli
will
and
not
Peyton.
be coach of the year because he did something like that.
I saw it partially on the Eli and Peyton
That's
Monday Night
what gets you
broadcast.
blacklisted when you dance like that in an NFL locker room. Those players are like, "What the fuck? We listen to this guy every week." He lost all their respect. The Chicago Bears and San Francisco 49ers, they played on one of the sloppiest fields I've ever seen. It rained like a son of a bitch in Chicago.
Jesus, dude.
The stadium, the grass at Soldier Field doesn't
They just
doesn't
changed
absorb water
Well,
at
they
all.
just changed it out like
Sits
a
right
week
on the-
ago.
yeah, it sits right on
And
the
they
fucking
did it
lake.
because the Chicago the Bears, they want to move to a new stadium, and the city doesn't want them to. So they put in new grass as like a fuck you to the Bears.
Yeah.
And it's garbage.
Dude,
I mean, they won. Justin Fields did a slide on the water, and it looked like he was at a water.
that was an
what- a
iconic
slip and
photo,
slide.
like
It
where he
honestly
stood
looked like a
up
slip and slide.
with like him all this muddy and shit, and
Yeah.
like with the water players behind him sliding on their chest. That was
Now-
pretty slick.
What are your thoughts on that game? Are the Niners that bad of a team?
Yes.
Or was it a fluke because of the weather?
The Niners are that fucking bad.
That's kind of what I think.
I think I
I'm
saw.
a Niner fan. That's why.
Are you really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Niner
I
fucking
just
fan.
think, I think
like,
Trey Lance kind of sucks.
Pretty sure I
think they
saw
all fucking suck.
Jimmy. I saw Jimmy G in the sideline doing something like this, like just biding his time because
Yeah.
he knows he's going in here eventually. Because
I mean,
I
that's,
can't believe
again,
you're going to
maybe-
ride with it. But
maybe
that,
when the weather's
Sure.
better. And then obviously this week they released Trey Sermon in the offseason, which was a shocking move.
yeah,
Because they wanted to go with Elijah Mitchell.
Yep.
Elijah Mitchell last year was a hot rookie for them. Had some injury history. What does he do week 1?
hurt.
Gets hurt. Hurts his knee. He's out for like a month or so.
Yep.
They're going with what? Jeff Wilson Jr., I think, is there
Hot
be their
waiver
starter.
wire pickup this
He
week.
really, I picked him up in
Yeah.
DraftKings.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, so the Niners are weird. I don't know what to expect from them. They were a quarter away from going to the Super Bowl last year, albeit with Jimmy G as their quarterback. Week 1 against the Bears, who most people assume are going to be one of the worst teams in the league. They lost 19-10.
Well, week 2 is going to be an eye opener for both teams because the Bears now play the Packers, which we'll see if they actually are a decent team against the Packers. And then I think the 49ers play the Seahawks this week, right?
Yes.
So I mean, and yeah,
My buddy that's a Seahawks
laugh
fan,
at the
he said-
Seahawks, but their defense
He
is okay.
said Niners by 20. He hates he wants the Seahawks to go 1-16. Their only win against Russell Wilson, which they of course did on Monday Night Football. For those of you that don't know,
Another nail biter, right?
and that's another upset too. That's the craziest
Jeez,
thing.
fucking
Right. I mean,
Russell.
you get Russell.
Came down to the wire. I had Denver by 100 in that game. I mean, I told my buddy, I'm like, I'm going to bed by the end of the first quarter. It's
when I
gonna be a
turned it
fucking
on, I saw
blowout.
Gino's perfect pass rating. I'm like, what the fuck's going on right
It was
now?
a Twilight world, a Twilight Zone over the weekend. Guys that I thought were going to be terrible were actually not bad.
It's the Mandela effect.
It really is. Like, there's something off in the universe. And I think,
Conspiracy theory.
Coming up at the top of the hour.
and you know it is because the Browns won with late game heroics.
Yeah.
That never happens in Cleveland.
With a
It was-
kicker.
It was fucking opposite world on
Yeah.
Sunday.
It was that fucking CERN.
There's something. It was me going on with Grape that changed everything. He opened my eyes to the lies of the world that I didn't know. He taught me so much about the Queen. At first, I saw she died, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of sad. And then he woke me up, and I'm like, fuck, they should have buried her last year. They should have buried her.
Lizzie's in the box.
He
That's
was
what those
so
guys
happy.
are
Yeah,
fucking.
yeah.
Yeah, Lizzie's in the box.
He opened my
Those
eyes,
guys
and,
hate her.
and the world has changed for me. I'm a new man.
Did you see? And just to get off topic, we're going world topics now. Did you
do it.
see as they were walking down the street, and fucking people in like I think Scotland were screaming at Prince Andrew. Fucking pervert! Can't touch her! Like they were screaming at him.
I mean, it's not like they caused a great potato famine or anything, was it? Right? The fucking guys, that's it. I mean, it was the greatest thing ever. Not to get off the topic.
No, you're fine.
The Queen dying was the greatest thing ever.
With that too.
Oh,
but
okay.
I watched the soccer game, right? And
Yeah.
they were literally chanting, "Lizzie's in the box. Lizzie's in the box."
They love. I mean, that's
They
good shit
fucking
talk right there. That
shit.
doesn't even happen in
What do you
America.
mean?
Wow.
In America, we all pretend to be civil when it comes to like sports.
We pretend to be
They
civil.
was making up the
Until
Queen
like the
is
third
dead.
quarter, then people get beers, and then you see the videos on.
Did you
what
see
is
the
it, World
Lions?
Star,
Did you
there's
see
all
the Lions
fighting.
game afterwards?
No.
Oh, do you get to watch it? Go on Twitter.
Fans?
Oh yeah, right
Okay.
after the Lions game, fans were beating the shit out of each other. Just Detroit fans fighting each other. I mean, not that you're surprised
You
by
know what?
this.
That's fair. I could see that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The Lions have had a rough handful of years, so I can only imagine the amount of animosity between even the fans.
And that was a close game for them. They made it interesting at the end
My
there.
brother-in-law, El Marcel, said the Browns is winning 9 games. We'll see about that, bro.
I mean, I could
Nine
see that,
total.
absolutely.
I would take a 9-8. That might backdoor us into the playoffs, to be honest.
Yeah, it really depends. I mean, again, there's teams that I thought were going to be really good that lost this week. I get it; it's only week 1, but a good thing for us was the Steelers winning. Truthfully, as a Browns fan, I'm happy that the Steelers won because they beat the Bengals, who I think are the better team. Who, if the Browns get their shit together and get Deshaun Watson back and can make the playoffs, the Bengals will be the ones in their way, not the Steelers, if I had to take a guess. And they lose T.J. Watt, which again, I don't support
He
injuries
tore
for
his
players.
booby muscle.
Yeah, I don't like to root for players getting hurt, but shit happens, and they lost their best player. I mean, I think that's their heart and soul on defense. Cam Hayward's getting older. He was a little banged up. Minka Fitzpatrick had to literally do everything. Their offense looked atrocious.
He
the
can't be
Bengals-
everywhere out there, though.
What's that?
He can't be everywhere out there. though.
Exactly. And I mean, if the Bengals didn't lose their long snapper, they win that game by a lot because they just had to opt to not kick.
What was up with Joe Burrow? Bad play calling, or is it just bad decision making?
A little bit of
Both.
both.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
a little
would
bit of
say that, a
both.
little bit of
I saw the
yeah.
4 interceptions. Like,
I mean, I've said it all along, and I remember talking about it before the Super Bowl when we were on. We did the roundtable thing with all the guys.
Yeah.
I said I think the Bengals have like a fluke going on. I don't think they're that good.
So that goes where you come into the question now. Okay, when you see that as a coach,
Yeah.
you see this guy's throwing 4 interceptions. Do you decide to move it to the ground now? So your mistakes will come from this guy fucking up throwing the.
Well, the problem
interceptions.
with that was they couldn't run the ball because they were down like 20-3 early, and they had to try to make a comeback. So they were able to do it, and Burrow threw a couple touchdowns. He got his shit together, but
Okay.
What?
so it's weird. It makes you wonder: was it just a fluky start? Because again, look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen had 2 quick picks in the game against
Sure.
the Rams, then got it together.
Well, I just think back to the fact that before last year, people were calling for Zach Taylor's head because they weren't
Oh, yeah.
they weren't happy with him. And we joked, I think, when we were recording in your basement at the time, that he needed to come out and have like a Super Bowl winning type
Yeah,
season.
he did. I said he's on the
And
hot
he
seat.
came and did it. Now he's got the. I think he got the
They
extension
gave him an
last year,
extension,
didn't he?
but I
Yeah.
mean an extension in the NFL for a head coach
Right.
doesn't mean shit.
But
It
what
doesn't
I'm
mean
saying
anything.
is, it's what have you done for me lately in the NFL? It's
Sure.
not what did you do last year. So
And they tied it up with 2 seconds left, touchdown to Jamar Chase. But because their long snapper's hurt, they had to bring in their backup. He fucked the snap up, and they missed the extra point. Then in overtime, game-winning kick. The new snapper fucked the snap up.
Yep.
The placeholder turned it.
laces out.
In.
he laces out.
Evan McPherson botched the fucking kick.
Have we not watched Ace Ventura before?
Right,
Laces
you would
out,
think.
Pink.
It's the number 1 rule of sports, and they had to lace his face in the wrong way, and it cost him the game. Again, I'm happy the Bengals lost. T.J. Watt got hurt. I don't
Sure.
celebrate players getting hurt, but it helps.
I'm okay if
Somebody's
he comes back.
audio's on. Sorry.
What's that?
Somebody's audio's on, and it's
No worries.
Great to
Honestly,
hear.
I
It's
thought it was
okay.
coming out of a
It's
headphone.
old
so I
guys,
didn't
it's
even
old
notice
guys.
it.
My bad.
Old guys and technology
Yeah,
over
old guys
here.
It don't work for
Smartphones,
me.
yeah.
Graves got like that jitterbug phone over here. He's like, "Where's that
What the
volume
fuck
button
is
at
that?
over here?"
Siri, turn the shit down, please.
I'm okay with him missing a month, 6 weeks, whatever he's missing, because that just gives Miles a chance to get out in front of that lead.
And that's the other thing too is he's projected to be out 6 to 8 weeks because he's going to try to let his pec heal naturally without surgery, which is a dangerous move because he could
Sure.
A, come back a little too early, and B, fuck it up even more.
Could tear it worse coming back.
That's
One
my
wrong
big
hit.
fear with
yeah.
a player that tries to come back too early, especially late in the season. Let's see where the Steelers are at in 8 weeks. If they're 2-7 or something like that when TJ
What's the
Watt's ready
point
to
in him
come
coming back? Yeah.
Exactly. I tell him, dude, shut it down. I'm not risking you long term for next season. I need you.
Yep.
But you never know. We'll see what happens with them. Those Watts.
All in all, though, very interesting first week of football.
Yeah, I mean, you have a tie. Colts and the Texans.
That division.
There was a tie in the AFC
0-1,
South,
0-1, and
which
0-0-1.
I am fully against
Absolutely.
ties in sports.
Yeah, we
I
gotta
hate
fight
it.
this shit out.
I hate it. Exactly.
somebody better score something,
Put him in a
yeah.
cage. I don't care what you have to do after the
Flip
game.
a fucking coin.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm okay with that too.
Thumb wrestle.
Give me something.
Yeah,
You can't end in a tie.
If you ain't
It's
first, you're
embarrassing.
last.
Damn
Just
right.
tie.
Ricky Bobby taught me
Ricky
that.
Bobby.
You have
Got a cougar in the car.
And I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
coming at you like a spider monkey.
Being her ass chip.
Dolphins beat
You
the
my
shit out of
best
the
friend.
Patriots. Why am I still talking to you? I love that part when he's on the phone with him.
What do I do with my hands? I don't know what to do with my hands. My hands are just right here right now. I don't understand what's going on.
Help me, Tom Cruise.
Help me, Oprah.
Help me. Help me. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
How many lines can we quote of Talladega Nights?
All
And
of
Joe?
them. We can fucking sit here and reenact that movie right now, I bet. What do you mean?
We got about an hour 15. We can just run through the script of
I'm
Talladega
talking about
Nights.
running from the top with a little backdoor action for the Browns. How about it?
I love that movie.
You're
right.
great.
The Ravens beat the shit out of the
Yeah.
Jets, who we're facing this week. Joe Flacco and the Jets looked terrible. Score was 24-9. It wasn't even that close. It was like 24-3 for the longest time. Then
Wish
the
Mark
Ravens had a
Andrews
late
got the
field
ball a
goal
little
or
bit
a
more.
late
God damn
touchdown.
it.
Jets look terrible though.
Yeah, they got their ass reamed. That's,
The only thing,
I'll
though,
talk
is-
more about this at the end.
Yeah,
or
same with
someone
us.
will.
We'll break down the game to
But
come.
I'm a little bit afraid that the Jets are going to come in and kind of smack us a little hard right out the gates, just because I think of the ass reaming they got last week at the end of that game.
It's an interesting point
But
Yeah, what
it's-
is it, 6 or did it move?
6,
Yeah.
yeah. The Giants
Joe
just put the
Flacco, I mean,
Jets
he's always played us well, but I mean, he's going to throw the ball.
He
you know?
did, but that was, I mean, we're talking back when, you guys were in your 30s when Joe Flacco played last. That was that long ago. I mean, it's been a long
You
time.
were still in your 30s too when he played for the Ravens.
No.
Sneak this and that is fine.
Lamar Jackson's been in the league for 4 years. 33 minus 4. I was in my 20s. So
Shut
Joe
up.
Flacco
And he's
wasn't.
good at math.
Pretty sure wasn't no, sorry, we're not going to get to it. Moving on.
The Vikings beat the hell out of the Packers. As I predicted, I said the Packers are going to come out flat. Aaron Rodgers was without Alan Lazard. He was without both of his tackles. They looked terrible. The Vikings actually looked like a really, really good team because the Packers' defense was supposed to be pretty good, and Justin Jefferson torched them.
I mean, this is what happens when you have receivers who won't catch the fucking ball either.
I should have brought my Jay Genie hat because remember when I said Justin Jefferson's going to win Offensive Player of the Year? That motherfucker went out and dominated on Sunday.
Well, Kirk Cousins,
it's early.
Kirk Cousins is always that guy who's gonna do what he does. He's gonna get you the ball. He's gonna make good passes. Statistically, Kirk Cousins is gonna just be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that was under not Gary Kubiak.
No, it was what's his face?
Zimmer.
Glasses, yeah, not glasses, but the older guy who's dating the young hot bitch.
Yeah, Zimmer, isn't it?
Yeah, it was Zimmer. Yeah.
This
hot
was
too.
Kevin O'Connell's
She's hot
first
too.
game as a head coach for the Vikings, and Kevin O'Connell's offense is
Yeah.
very pass friendly.
Right.
So that's why my prediction for Justin Jefferson was that, because I thought they're going to let Kirk Cousins loose. Not to say that he's a great quarterback, but Kirk Cousins, without being kind of shut down by Zimmer, is going to get the ball to Justin Jefferson a lot, and that's exactly what he did. They dominated. I mean, what the hell were the Packers thinking, letting Justin Jefferson be wide open?
There was some. I mean, he was wide open across the middle multiple times.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no catching him.
disgusting.
But I mean, but you saw how many times the brick hands of the receiving core of the Packers just missed the ball.
Yeah,
right?
they got a lot of rookies. They got, it's
How
Randall
many
Cobb,
times?
Sammy
How many
Watkins,
times
and
could
rookies.
Rodgers put the ball in your bread basket there
Yeah.
and you not catch it?
Yeah, I mean, they need Alan Lazard back in the worst way, and I
Well, I think
don't
he's
even
back
know
this
if that's
week.
enough.
I think he's back this
He
week.
still didn't practice, so we'll see.
Okay.
He's listed as questionable. I've got him on one of my fantasy teams. The Chiefs beat the hell out of the Chargers. The Chargers did not look good, or the Cardinals. I'm sorry, I'm looking down at the other game. Chiefs beat the hell out of the Cardinals. I think that's expected. I just think the Chiefs are a powerhouse team. They're my prediction to go to the Super Bowl in the AFC.
Are they a better team without Tyreek Hill?
Tough to say. I mean, Tyreek Hill is one of those guys where this game never got to see that moment where you need that speed.
Sure.
They didn't need it. It was a blowout. They were dominating from the get-go. In the game against Buffalo, I don't think the Chiefs can win that game without Tyreek Hill. They needed that speed and that breakaway ability.
I mean,
So
Juju's
without him,
fast too. He's not.
He is.
He's not Tyreek fast, but
that's the thing. I need to see them in a 2-minute situation. I
Yeah.
need to see 1 minute with no timeouts. What can Mahomes do? Because with Tyreek Hill, you throw that bomb to Cheetah and you're getting yourself close to a field goal at least. I don't know if that's going to be the case without him, but only time will tell. Buccaneers Cowboys Sunday night, real fucking snoozer of a game. I'm not gonna lie, I turned it off and I watched House of Dragon. Great episode. Kyle hasn't seen it yet.
no spoilers.
She died in the end.
Yeah.
They all
Yeah,
die.
spoiler, it's only a 4-episode show,
They
and
all
that was
die.
the final episode of all time, or 3 episodes. I don't even know what episode we're on.
Like I said, the only thing I heard was it's spicy.
Very much so, very spicy.
They have a new show that's similar to that called the Reptile Guide or the It's something, but there's one episode on. Fucking good.
What's it on?
What is that? Evan, that was on. Do you remember? Amazon Prime, maybe that new show that we watched the other night that reminded me of
The Lord of the Rings one?
No, not
No,
that
okay.
one. But Serpent Queen.
Serpent Queen.
Serpent
Never heard of it. I'll have to look that up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's
Oh,
in
no
there.
kid. Oh, I've seen the
Oh, I've seen the
trailer.
trailer. Yeah.
Jesus,
Okay,
if you're
that's
into
good.
that kind of shit,
I've seen
yes.
I've seen the
Yeah.
trailer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Add
If
that
you're
to
into
my list.
you
Let's
should
make a
watch
note of
it.
that.
Yeah.
Serpent King. Let's do
Yeah.
that. Sunday
Queen,
night football.
Serpent Queen. Got it.
Serpent Queen. Okay. Dak Prescott is hurt,
Press quack.
and
Surprise, surprise.
yeah, I mean,
Who'da
hurt his
thunk it?
thumb. He's out at least like 4 to 6 weeks. They're saying possibly more. They looked terrible with him. They looked even worse without him. My buddy's a Cowboys fan, and I'm asking him. I'm like, I turned the game off for an hour or so to watch House of the Dragon, and I'm like, what the hell's up with your team, the Cowboys? Are the Bucks just that good on defense? And he's like, no, our offense just looks like shit. Their offensive line sucked. Their coaching was terrible. Ezekiel Elliott was averaging about 6 yards a carry. He had about 50 yards around halftime, and they stopped carrying the ball.
Yeah.
They ran it like 10 times.
I don't think they know what to do with him and Pollard in the backfield because
No,
he
it's
only
true.
ran
It's
it
a
two
Mike
more.
McCarthy problem.
He only ran it 2 more times more than Pollard did.
Yeah,
You know,
Mike
it's like-
McCarthy is speaking of a coach that's on the hot seat this year. Last year we talked about Zach Taylor. This year it's Mike McCarthy. No questions asked.
Jerry Jones has only fired a coach once midseason. Is it going to happen again?
And I think before you know it, it's going to be him. What do we got from Chipper here? Dak and Zeke haven't done shit since they got paid. I agree completely. I mean, Zeke hasn't been the same
That's
player.
not
but
true. That's not true. Zeke threw a hell of a boat party after he got paid.
true. And Dak,
There was
Dak
lots
decided
of
to do a QB
titties
sneak
on
last year
that
and
boat.
cost the Cowboys a playoff win. So Dak's got that going for him.
So they've done stuff.
Yeah, they've done
It might
stuff.
not be on the field, but
Yeah.
they've done stuff.
It might be infamous, but it's something. Monday Night Football, though. Broncos and Seahawks, the Russell Wilson return. This was something I kind of teased with Kyle last week. We didn't have time to talk about, so we'll brush on it here for a minute or two as we reach the halfway mark almost. Quarterbacks,
Yeah.
changing teams. Why were Browns fans so enamored with Baker when Tom Brady has left New England? He's been in Tampa for 3 years, won a Super Bowl. Life has gone on. Russell Wilson, now with the Broncos, got booed. The fans were okay with him being gone. I know a lot of Seahawks fans that now hate him because he's gone. Browns fans cannot get over Baker Mayfield. Why is that?
I know the answer, but I'll let Grape go first. Go ahead.
I think that they had such high expectations for him. He did such a crappy job.
Oh, sure.
They're like, we need to kick the shit out of this guy a little bit more.
But no, they love Baker still.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's what I don't
like
understand.
the love to hate thing. Like
Yeah.
I hate that I fucking love you, but I love to hate you. And
I love to hate him.
that
That's it for
bipolar
me.
shit that Cleveland
I think
so
that
good
is.
at. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, you have Russell Wilson who's gone. And again, the dude has played at an MVP level. Hall of Fame quarterback, more than likely. Won them a Super Bowl. Should have won them 2 if Pete Carroll knew how to fucking coach. And they booed the shit out of him. They have jerseys that have like traitor on the back of it. They're talking shit. They're booing him. They hate him.
There was one point in Baker's tenure in Cleveland that solidified him as the statue we need to build person. Do you know what that moment was?
Was it beating the Steelers in the playoffs?
Nope. It had nothing to do with football.
Oh,
All that pussy you got.
yeah, Cheesecake
It's when he took the 2 beers at a Guardians game,
I honestly
crushed them
forgot that he did
together,
that.
shotgunned them in front of everyone, and the entire Cleveland fan base said, "One of us."
Yeah, that's true. Which,
And they just
ironically enough,
at that point, everyone's like, "I need to have his babies."
what they didn't know was that Baker sitting in the stands with fans chugging beer saying he's one of us meant he literally should be doing that on Sundays and not playing football because he's not a very good quarterback.
We know that now, but I'm saying that moment right there, that moment was replayed and replayed and
I
replayed
honestly
over and
forgot
over
about
and
that.
over again.
That's how little I gave a shit about it.
Had the
never
mustache,
seen
had the
that.
porn
I gotta go
stash
look
going on. He caught the beer with one hand.
For me, I am a strictly,
cracked it.
what are you doing on the field for me? And I don't give a fuck about Baker chugging beers on the sideline and
I'm
all
just
that.
saying that
in the
moment right
stands.
there in time is where we were
I
like,
forgot
yes.
about it, honestly, but that's a good point.
About chugging that fucking ball down the field for some positive yardage, asshole.
Yeah,
And
that's all I
Baker's
care
got a
about.
hell of an arm. He just never gets it to the right team.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a hell of an arm if the offensive linemen were about, the size of Muggsy Bogues because he fucking can't throw over anybody.
That was one of the comments I saw. Is like after all these years, he finally learned how to throw it to a Browns player when we intercepted him on Sundays.
Yeah,
Like,
that's honestly.
finally found the right jersey.
That was my joke. I'm like, he's so used to throwing to him. That's
Yeah.
why he threw it right to Delpit. Because when he threw that slant that Delpit intercepted, the camera angle, I couldn't tell that it was such a fucking bad throw. All I saw was a wide open Panther, and I'm like, oh shit, here's a big play, and it just went right past him, right to Delpit.
Yep.
I'm like, that's the Baker I know and love.
The receiver's just like,
And he's like, oh, this is why they hated him. He watched the ball go over his head.
That's
But
great.
yeah, so that was my thing with the quarterbacks. It's just weird to me that Browns fans can't move on.
No.
Like,
we're also a fickle fan base, so we
but
don't
the
let shit
Seahawks
go easy.
let Russell Wilson go. They traded him. There's obviously bad blood between Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson and the whole Seahawks organization. He won them a Super Bowl. He was a great guy. They traded him, and they have nothing at quarterback. I mean, Geno Smith is a fucking has-been. He's a career backup, journeyman quarterback. We got rid of Baker for a potential Hall of Famer, a potential MVP candidate in Deshaun Watson. That's a major upgrade.
Absolutely.
How could a fan base not be just ecstatic about that? It made no sense to me. We've talked about it the whole offseason, how much better the Browns are now with Deshaun Watson, how much better off they are. I'm just happy that chapter's over. I'm happy we won, even though it was a close one. Losing that game would have been miserable, I think.
I would not want to have turned on any kind of local
week,
sports
there's
talk
absolutely
this week.
no sports talk in my life if Baker would have won that game. No fucking chance.
And even though we still won, the conversation, at least for Monday and Tuesday, has been who played better, Jacoby or Baker? Like, well, first off, one isn't a starter for one team. Another is an actual backup who just happens to be starting right now. So, like, it's hard to compare the two.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm glad it's over. I'm glad we won. More power to Baker. I wish him well. It is what it is. I hope he plays his best, which, as we all know, isn't very good. But, here's hoping something happens for him and he gets a nice contract. Or he retires and he goes to commentary and does all that fun shit. More power to him.
While chugging beers.
That's it. He could chug beers with everybody.
One
and
of us.
Be one of the
One
man
us.
of the people.
I heard a wild joke from a Steelers fan today. Somebody who was checking a Steelers fan in. He had a Steelers hat on. And they was like, oh, I was going to help you until you came in with the Steelers fan. He was like, oh, I just came in for a massage, and I lost it.
Oh, that was great.
Dirty motherfuckers.
That's a joke that will never get old.
No, I mean, yeah, my buddy's sending me the new Browns logo thing came out. He's sending me one with the Bill Cosby photoshopped over Deshaun Watson's face as the logo in the middle. He's also a Jets fan, so I gave it back to him. I've seen it all. For me, I'm immune to this shit. I don't care. The jokes don't
Every
offend
one
me.
of my fantasy football teams has changed the rub and tugs and some massage parlor picture. So, I mean,
a lot of people are calling
gotta
him
buy into it.
Massage Watson instead of Deshaun Watson. Like, he's got all these nicknames. It is what it is. I
At
don't
least
care.
we know he's going to come back after week 11 and be really stretched out and ready to go.
He is going to be so loose.
Totally relaxed. And
Yeah.
I can be loose.
Yeah. Very, very relaxed.
It's weird. He's going to be drained, but not in like the emotional sense, if that makes sense.
He will have no built-up frustration.
All right, we are going to do a couple quick news stories, and then we are going to take a break.
A news segment.
A quick news segment. I've always said when we came to Studio 2, my goal and my vision was to do like the weekend update on SNL. I love having the news desk. We have the visuals, everything. I love it. So let's get right into it. And the first story of the day, Kyle gave to me today, so let's get right to it. The world of chess, they are still feeling the tremors after United States chess grandmaster Hans Niemann was accused of using vibrating anal beads to cheat against #1 ranked Magnus Carlsen. When we reached out to Niemann for a comment, he simply said, "Shove it up your ass."
Look at that face.
That's actually him, too. That's really that guy.
Something is up that ass.
So I don't know if you saw this story, Greg.
I did not,
So
but this is
Kyle sent
fucking
it to me
great.
today. There's the Grandmaster, Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah.
He was facing this guy, Hans Niemann, in a chess match.
Just anal bee guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's accusing this guy of using silicone anal beads that couldn't be detected by a metal detector. And they vibrate. He's accusing him of having somebody hitting the remote as Morse code to tell him what moves to make.
So supposedly,
And mind you, as far as I
I just
know,
gotta lose that shit.
there's
Fuck that.
zero evidence about it, right?
none.
He is
None.
just strictly. He lost. He was so pissed. He quit the tournament, and he's accusing this guy of having rubber anal beads up his ass that
Sore
vibrate.
loser. What an asshole.
So
Literally.
What an
What an
asshole,
asshole.
right? Jesus
yeah, I
Christ.
mean, so the guy who he beat is, I guess, undefeated in chess. He never loses. This
Yeah.
guy is also technically he's also a grandmaster
One of the
as well.
best chess players in the world. Both of these guys. You
Yeah.
just have one that's a little bit better than the other.
And he lost. Now he backed out of the tournament. Now he's accusing. One of my buddies actually went as far as to dig deep into the Reddit threads, and they were trying to figure out how he's doing it. And they're like, yeah, no, literally, he probably has something up his ass that someone's doing an advanced computer system from whatever behind the scenes and saying, hey, if you need to go to C3, you vibrate 3 times to get to C, and then vibrate 3 more times to go 3. So that's
Third letter,
literally his ass is shaking the entire time he's playing this game. So
I'm not gonna lie to you. If they put chess
such
on,
speculation.
if they put chess on ESPN, I would probably watch it, and I
for
wouldn't even pay attention to the board because I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Well,
with
now
chess.
you're- now
I
I
would
would-
just watch if any of them are kind of like
Jiggling and shit.
I was like, oh, it's my turn in a second. No, these chairs need cushions. He's shaking around a lot. That's all I'm gonna be looking for.
But I mean, look how upset he looks.
He
He's
looks
something
pissed.
up his ass.
Definitely, definitely.
My understanding when this picture was taken, that was actually when they were putting the anal beads up there. That's why he looks so disgruntled.
I mean, he's not happy about it at all.
He's like,
but,
they do not have enough lube on those things.
Not
They
even
just
at all.
jammed them
Somebody
up.
please spit on one of these motherfuckers, please.
Who thought that chess would have made it on this show? Glad we could do it.
You know what? We talked about golf, so if we're gonna talk about sports that I don't care about,
Not even fucking
events
comparable.
that I don't care about, chess is definitely one of them too.
Well, can I make a declaration
It's
here,
a sport.
fellas?
100%.
Sure, go ahead.
I know this, and I know this for a fact. From this day forth, whenever I lose, totally blame it on anal beads in the
There you go.
100%.
There you
That's
go.
I don't care what it is. If it's basketball,
I
if I
would-
lose,
If you don't
beat
get
me to the light,
hey,
if I
I
had
lose
something
a
in
bet.
his
if you
ass.
don't get show of the month next month, you're gonna blame whoever won for having anal beads up their ass.
Absolutely.
Better not be us.
it's probably Lee with the anal beads up the ass based on his episodes when he was on
I
Sugar
always
and
wonder
Spice.
why Lee shifts in his
All the time, right?
always
You notice
shifting
that,
back
too?
and forth.
What the fuck is Dave back there doing a Morse code?
That's why Lee has to sit in the cushion chair.
Dave's here trying to learn how to work the computer.
Beep 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 beep.
He
Dave,
pushed the
go.
wrong shit though. He said A3.
Lee, move us over to the right side. Beep 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 beep.
That's why Lee spelled Tuesday wrong yesterday on the flyer because Dave was hitting the anal beads.
We're all gonna
Shit.
be without
We're
a
not
job.
gonna- we're not-
No, it's all good. They know I bust their balls.
We're not gonna have a
So do
show
I,
next
right.
week.
They love it. They
You know,
love
I
it.
think the cable went down on my shit the week before last. I am done for Friday, son.
Yeah, just know that if our show gets canceled, it's because of Lee's anal beads.
And I'm blaming it on anal beads as well.
100%. All right, next up in news, we have another story. This one, an old retired NFL player, the old gunslinger, Brett Favre. I don't know if you guys saw this story.
I'm
So
disheartened by this story.
Brett Favre is being accused of taking $5 million in state welfare money from the governor of Mississippi to be used for a volleyball stadium at the University of Southern Mississippi, the same college his daughter happens to play at. Upon hearing that Brett Favre did this and that he's under investigation, Jerry Jones immediately reached out to Favre's agent for a tryout with the Cowboys because you know how much the Cowboys love some felons.
Absolutely.
I probably could play for the Cowboys.
I'm really upset you didn't get
Give
a.
him a call for a tryout.
Oh yeah, hey, special teams.
I'm really upset you didn't
Hell
get
yeah.
you didn't get a photo of him wearing his Levi jeans on this picture here.
No, I wanted to keep it waist up because we know what Brett Favre likes to do with things inside of his jeans and then send them to women without whether they want it or not. Ask Jen Sturger. So yeah, we kept
Filthy
Brett
man.
Favre above the waist. But
So,
yeah, so
is this proven or is it just another accusation right now?
my understanding is it's proven. There's leaked text messages now where he's saying, "Hey, there's no way the media is going to find out that I took this from the poor or whatever."
Brett needs to stop texting, I believe.
Yeah, he is. You know, we joked
Speaking
earlier
of old men
old
about
guys
putting
with
fucking
smartphones.
phones down.
Yeah, Brett Favre needs to
needs-
shove that phone up his ass like an anal bead and never use it again.
And don't put it on vibrate when you do it, Brett.
He needs to put like a
Put it on ringer, Brett. I
child
don't need him
block.
getting frisky. Put it on ringer, dude.
Could you imagine every time he rings, he opens his mouth
You
like,
know Brett Favre's a freaky motherfucker with all the shit he's doing. You cannot let that thing vibrate up there.
Still has a hell of an arm, that dude, though.
And our final news story, of course, this one came down locally here. The Cleveland Browns have unveiled their new logo going in middle of the field. It is a different take on the Brownie Elf. Rumor has it, though, that this story or this image has been ready to put on midfield for the last 4 or 5 seasons now. However, the Browns were worried that Baker Mayfield was going to mistake it for himself and either get a giant ego or get pissed off at the Browns. So they've been holding it in until Baker's gone, and now there it is.
It looks like Baker.
It is. I mean, you've seen the thing on my front porch. I have that little that wooden Baker thing. It's life size.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, it's about 2.5 feet tall.
A little tiny guy.
Yeah.
I'm getting Elf on the Shelf vibes here.
I love the logo. I actually have the old school Elf where he's just holding the football normal. I have that tattooed on my leg. I like this with the stiff arm. I joked with my buddies that are Jets fans, and I said, this is actually what Nick Chubb's going to be doing to your fucking defense on Sunday. So I'm like, get used to that image.
Did you look in the history of the Brownie Elf?
I didn't. You told me that you did.
Yeah,
I
so I
didn't have a chance
little
to.
dive deep into it. So I guess obviously the Brownie Elf has been like folklore from way back, but during the 1945 to 49 run where the Browns were really good, The owner back then wanted to have something to make the team more marketable. So they put out like a contest for people to design something, bring it to the table. And the guy who designed it, I guess, worked for the Cleveland Plain Dealer. He designed the cartoonist, he designed the elf, and they used it from 1945, I believe, all the way through 60. And then in 1961, actually, when they won the championship, I believe in 64, they actually had the Brownie the Elf wearing a crown because they won the championship. Then after Art Modell bought the team, they started to phase it out because he thought the Brownie Elf was too childish. And he wanted to get rid of it, so it was forever banished on any kind of advertising. Never used again until recently, back when I think Al Lerner took over the team. He started bringing the Brownie Elf back into certain patches they would use in certain games and stuff like that. But kind of cool. I mean, the fact it was locally designed and created and put into
I love it. I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Never put it on the helmet, though. I don't want to see it on the helmet.
No, I agree with that. But I'm just happy to see an actual logo.
Yeah.
I do wish they would have colored the end zone. I'm sure. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures of the full field.
It's just normal like last year.
It's pretty boring in the end zone. It just says like Cleveland Browns, whatever. It's nothing special. But it is nice to see a logo. I mean, we are the only team in the league without an actual logo. Our logo is a helmet, which I think is one of the dumbest fucking things in the world.
And depending on what
the people love the elf. They love him. Put him on everything.
And depending on what broadcast is playing a Browns game, it looks like a rabbit. So the Browns helmet.
Yeah, it does. I saw that. It's like the Mandela effect thing. Like once you see it, you'll never not see it.
It's like I forget. It was like a rabbit holding a walker or something last year, or whatever.
Completely fucking ruined the logo for me, which I always hated. I don't like the helmet. I mean, I think it's stupid. Every team wears a fucking helmet. Why is your logo a helmet? Do something creative.
So here's my thing. I was always under the impression that Browns was like the dogs. So the elf that's good.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's awesome to learn.
It fucked me up.
I don't know where the dog pound came from. I'd have to look more back, like how that came to be and how that was created. But yeah, I mean, I knew of the Brownie Elf back in the day because there's all these like different old school stuff. But like I didn't know the history. Today I just on Wikipedia for like 20, 30 minutes during a lunch break. I kind of just dig in the Wikipedia history of it. It was kind of cool to see where it came from. But no, that's a good question. I don't know how the Browns and the dogs came to be and where the dog pound came from. Do you know, Justin? I don't know.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that was from like the early 80s and shit with like the who was it? Big Dog, Hanford Dixon. They had all the defensive players were like the big dogs and shit.
Sure.
So the fans started calling themselves a dog pound. If I'm not mistaken, I could be completely wrong.
And then the team is
on the Fitz,
we got a call?
Yeah.
Let's go
fucking
to it.
Baker
I
Mayfield.
thought it was
He's
Snoop
pissed.
and them.
He
Thank you
can't
for calling
dial
the
on his
Fitz
hands too
Trash
small.
Man LLC hotline. Who is this?
Caller, you're on the air. W balls in your mouth. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello, Chipper.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Hanford Dixon and Frank Minifield. They were the big dogs and all that. They had the nicknames. I think our caller dropped off.
So the Browns just adapted a dog pound and kind of just marketed it.
Oh, you know who I think it was?
Huh.
That might be Chopper Chuck calling us.
No.
It's about that time. It is time to go to break.
Calm
Chopper
down,
Chuck is
Lizzo.
here. I forgot I told him to call the show. I completely forgot
about
about
that
that.
time.
He can't hear up there on a helicopter. He's landing right now on top of the building. He's going to pick us up. Kyle, unfortunately, has to go home. Grape and myself.
I don't want to go though.
Yeah.
All right.
You know how it goes. We all have to cover our eyes. They don't want us to see where Chopper Chuck lives or where Conspiracy Carl lives. We're getting in the helicopter. We're going to be coming live from the bunker. Give us like 5 minutes. He lives really close, I think. I don't know. How fast does a helicopter go?
You told me to wear this. So.
Yes, exactly. Yep. You have to bring your own face shield. I got my pillowcase in the corner. You guys saw it last time.
You
I'll
thought
cover
you were
up.
bad at conspiracy theories. This guy doesn't want to know where he lives at all.
Grape
by
is
anybody.
ready to go. He knows he's been here before. This ain't his first time getting helicoptered off into a bunker. All right, so we are going to take a quick break. We're going to do some ads. I'm going to get a lavalier mic put on. I'm going to do some ads while we're in the chopper. And that's it. Kyle, thank you for being here this week. We'll talk to you Sunday with the Steel City running lates.
Go
I guess
Browns.
just, stay safe. You know, Chopper Chuck, obviously, you got one night to not worry about him because he's going to be with us. But other than that, I mean, keep an eye on the back of your head.
Absolutely.
You never know what that fucking dude with Conspiracy Carl. I keep calling him Chopper Chuck. We have too many guys on the show.
I heard him coming in.
Yeah, that Chopper is here. He is ready to go. We will talk to you guys in a few short minutes, live from the bunker. See ya.
Shit, they're here.
Redline Radio LLC is proud to partner with Growing Wings Adult Services for the creation
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the helicopter. We are flying over to Conspiracy Carl's bunker. Grape is, of course, with me. And Grape, again, 6 to 8 Friday nights, Redline Radio, studio number 1. Grape holds that shit down on Friday nights. Thursday nights, you can catch Club Pizzle. You can catch Lex Vegas. You can catch Kevin and Quan on Sundays. Medium Ratchet, Just Therapy on Mondays. Tim Buck 2. Speaking of that, Tim, when I see you next, I got to let you know that you would definitely get fired faster for talking shit to a gay person. I heard your guys' question yesterday. No doubt about it in this day and age, my friend. Saturday nights, you have comedy with Jen. You've got too much information. You've got Money's Crazy Mind on Friday nights. 4th and 15 with Mel, who just tried to call us. I'll just give you the full rundown. Broad Street South on Thursday nights. Money's Crazy Soundtrack. Talking about balls, of course, 7 to 9 on Wednesday nights. You've got She Vibes has moved their time. They are 8:30 to 9:30. Check them out on Redline Radio from Studio 1. They're going live Wednesday nights just like us. We are a little intro for them. We're their warm-up act. Tuesdays, you've got Gary Wenner going live. You've got Crossing the Mic, Broad Street South again. Sundays, the Steel City Running Lates because Lee is never on time. I've got some editing notes for Lee that maybe I'll just wait. I'll give them to him live on air on Sunday just because I know how much Lee hates that shit, so I'm going to do that live. But we will be there from 7 to 8 on Sunday night to break down the Browns and the Steelers' upcoming game on Thursday. Now, none of these shows would be happening if it weren't for our great sponsors. And obviously, studio number 2 is a little close place to my heart. And that's, of course, thanks to Growing Wings Adult Services. They're the official sponsor of State of the Art Studio 2. For more information, give Lisa a call over at 234-334-7547. They have over 7 years of experience of taking care of adults with disabilities. Give them a call. There is so much construction going on at my work right now, it's not even funny. And my concern is that it's not going to get done right. You know why? Because I asked the team, what kind of blades are you using? And they did not tell me Dynatech. So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little skeptical going underneath these rafters they're putting up because they're not using the right kind of blades. Dynatech, they are known for having the best blades in the fucking business. They're committed to being the top diamond saw blade company around the world. They're located here in Elyria, Ohio. Their products include saw blades, abrasive blades, and pavement marking blades, core drill rigs, core drill bits, high-speed gas saws, masonry saws, walk-behind saws, tile saws, and other construction equipment. They stand behind their products with a warranty, and their customer service is what keeps customers satisfied and earns them the ranking of best in the industry. That is Dynatech, D-Y-N-A-T-E-C-H. They are at 161 Reeser Court, Elyria, Ohio, 44034, or give them a call, 1-800-446-9001, or go to Dynatech.com. Now, that construction crew is making quite a mess. They're throwing a lot of shit away in our dumpsters, and our dumpsters are getting filthy. They're covered in dust. They're covered in grime. They're covered in gunk. You know who we need to call? Fitz Trash Bin Cleaning, LLC, the official hotline sponsor of Studio 2. Unfortunately, it's not working that well today because we couldn't get Mel through, but it shouldn't stop you from calling Fitz Trash Bin. Their phone lines work just fine. They're located in North Ridgeville and surrounding areas. That's where they like to do their cleaning. You can reach them at 440-752-1533 or at FTBC USA. Tell them Redline Radio sent you, and you're going to get 10% off that first service, and trust me, it's worth it. Your garbage cans are some dirty shits. Look inside of there. You don't want anything to do with it. I know we talked about this last week, but that construction company, not only are they not using Dynatech, not only am I kind of worried about the dirt they're putting into my garbage cans, the number one reason why I'm worried is because they are not Wiggins Construction and Home Improvement. They do bathrooms, kitchen, windows, doors, siding, and much, much more, residential or commercial. Give Will a call at 440-734-7654. Tell them Redline Radio sent you. We talked a lot about Vegas. Obviously, Grape's been there. Kyle's going for the first time. I was there for the first time. Dave basically has a rental home there. It sounds like he's there all the fucking time. And you know where Dave goes every time he's there? I didn't get to go there, but Kyle's going to go. I'm not sure if Grape's ever been there. I'll have to ask him next time we get on the mic. The Rusty Spur Saloon. They're located in Las Vegas, Nevada, and they've been voted the biggest hole-in-the-wall saloon for the last 2 years in running. And if you know me, you know I love a fucking hole-in-the-wall bar. All right, everybody, the chopper, it looks like it's getting ready to land here near the bunker, from what I'm being told, I'm sorry. And we're going to be coming live with Conspiracy Carl and Grape. We're going to make some picks, and we're going to wrap this show up. Talk to you in a few.
Hey guys, Justin. Who's? Wait a minute. Hold, Justin. Who's this guy you're with right now?
This is my friend Grape. Are we allowed to take our masks off yet? It's kind of dark.
Yeah, go ahead and take your mask off. Did you wait a minute? Did you ball gag Grape too? You
No,
didn't
he-
have to do
Anal
that.
beads.
Yeah, he brought that on his own. He pulled it out of his ass. I don't know where it came from. Literally.
I got asthma.
Well, nice to meet you guys. Take a seat.
Did you
sit
say
down.
asthma or asthma?
What's the wordplay? Asthma.
Take a
Fuck,
seat.
it's
Sit
nice as
down.
fucking here. Jesus
Yeah, it's really
Christ.
he does a lot of work. He,
State of the art shit you got here, bud.
I really cleaned up the place. I want you guys to take a seat, get your headsets on.
this is only my
get
second time being here. Oh, thank you so much.
I think we're good to go. Let me turn this camera on real quick. Let me just make sure. Yep. There we go.
I really like your bunker, Carl. Can I ask, though, who is your interior decorator? Because these chairs are very uncomfortable. I don't know if you have a manager or somebody you could speak to, but these chairs are very uncomfortable on my ass.
No,
And I have nothing up there either. This is just a straight, flat Hank Hill ass that I was born with, and it is not comfortable.
I have collected everything you see over years in my travels. You're sitting on some handmade chairs right now. I just sanded them down yesterday, knowing you guys were coming.
You use a softer wood next time.
Yeah, I feel the splinters as you speak and the beads.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
If you're interested in giving me your address, I'll be happy to Amazon Prime you some cushions to put on these. You just have to let me know where to send them.
That's okay. I'll come pick them up myself.
We'll charge it to the Redline Radio account. All right. Well,
welcome.
Conspiracy Carl has welcomed us into his bunker today. And again, he doesn't like Kyle. But I will say, Conspiracy Carl, you're making strides as a person because you are nice enough to reach out to Kyle and get his picks for the week.
He sent me this. I had to go down the street around the corner. There was a rock that this was left under with my name on it, and it has picks. On my way back to my bunker here, I looked at some of these picks, and how do you have this guy as a co-host? It doesn't make sense to me. Some of these picks just don't make sense to me.
I asked him that too when he wasn't around. I waited till he left.
You know, it's one of those things of like, just we got in too deep with the show, so it's
Okay.
just it's hard to replace people. It's just easier to keep rolling with it. And you know what? On the bright side, he makes really bad picks, so I've never lost a bet. As everybody that listens and watches at home knows, Kyle has unfortunately suffered the wrath of the hot sauce challenge. Kyle has had to be stunned live on air.
Oh no!
Kyle has had to take the ice bath. He had to eat the mystery shit-flavored jelly beans. I can't even think of the other punishments he's had to endure, but I literally have never lost one. He has an upcoming punishment for losing the home run derby to me that is still to be determined because I have an idea and I need to get in contact with proper people and it's a whole thing. So I gotta set that up.
So my services are for hire. I'm more than happy to tune in and call in and whatever. If you want me to jump in and take over, if you ever want to terminate this Kyle's contract, by all means, I'm available.
Maybe something mysterious happens to Kyle, and I don't want to put any conspiracies on it, but maybe something happens, and I have to hire somebody else.
There are some people dying nowadays.
Very much so, especially the Queen. She's very dead.
Aces in the box. Aces in the box.
Now, I might have to hire you because I didn't say this last week. I kind of forgot to mention it. Kyle and I already know what our punishment's going to be for this year's Pick'ems, and I wanted to bring it up last week and not keep it a surprise, and I completely forgot. Anyone here own a tattoo gun?
Actually, yes, my sister does.
Because the loser has to get a tattoo that the winner picks out. Now, we have already laid some ground rules down. Obviously, you guys can see I have plenty of tattoos. I don't really care what goes on me.
I've heard Kyle doesn't have any tattoos.
Kyle doesn't have a single tattoo because this is why I'm kind of shocked him and Conspiracy Carl didn't get along because Kyle's afraid of tattoos because he thinks when they're in there putting the needle on him, they're going to insert some sort of microchip tracking device. He's very worried about that. What's in the ink?
Well,
absolutely.
Obviously,
I don't give a shit.
That is true.
Why do you think we're low on microchips?
Absolutely.
I don't care what goes in my body as long as it's not an anal bead.
And I can't say
At any given time, there's people who know where you're at any given time.
right now.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that?
Plus, there's that.
I got
micro
Alexa.
dose.
They're listening all the time. I'm all for it.
I like this grape guy. Him and I seem to have the same kind of mindset here.
Like we're here.
We're just thinking the same thing.
That's why I knew you guys would click. I'm really happy you were able to welcome him down here.
He might not leave.
That's for you guys to decide. I don't want anything to do with that. We already did the one story about the chess players. I don't need to know what else is going on.
As long as nothing else have to go up my ass, I kind of like it here.
I like that he
Hold on.
started
Nothing
with
else.
Nothing
Yeah,
else.
exactly.
We already
nothing
established
else.
that the fucking anal beads put up here. Goddamn me.
Did you invite that Tim guy back again too?
Tim is
trouble.
live from the studio. He's set up in here. I didn't even see him come in because we had our fucking eyes closed or our heads covered. Tim is in the bunker with
He
us.
just snuck in
Yeah, I don't
behind
think I'm
us.
gonna be able to get out though.
Yeah, you might be stuck down here. Unfortunately, Grape's ass is at the fire marshal said he's at full capacity, so nothing else can go up there.
And I know that was a fat hand that was doing it, Tim. I think you're the culprit here.
Someone shoved something up there, and I'm concerned about how you guys got here.
And I don't care how many times he tells you
head covers,
it was not
else.
mandatory from Conspiracy Carl because I don't have anything in my ass. Somebody lied to you, Grape. I apologize for
They made
that.
me sign the paper and everything.
That's one of the things that happens when you're not talking about balls. Some things go places they're not supposed to go, and hey.
Well,
maybe the Browns will sign you because they're into that kind of thing.
Well, at least I hope you have some ready-to-eat meals or something down here. At least I need dinner out of this shit.
Sir, I am fully prepared to live down here for the next 20 years.
I'm right along with you.
All right. Well, we are in the bunker. We are going to do picks. And again, Conspiracy Carl has all of Kyle's picks, and Grape is here to let us know the shit that I don't know. Because what happens a lot of times is I make a pick. I'll pick a team I think is going to win. They go out on Sunday, they shit the bed, they look terrible. Little do I know, behind the scenes, there's something going on. Maybe the quarterback's having a fight with his wife. Maybe his wife found out he's cheating. Maybe she found out he's putting some silicone anal beads up his ass on game day, and it's not helping him win. You never know what's going to happen. Grape knows. Conspiracy Carl knows. They're here to help us out. I figured it's week 2. Let's spice it up a little bit. Let's learn some shit. With that being said, it is time for picks. As you can see on the score down there, Kyle and I tied last week. We are both 10-5-1, even though we didn't have the same picks. So it just shows you how finicky picking games in the NFL can be.
He's off to a hot start, I see.
Not too bad. I mean, usually Kyle keeps up with me, and then I pull away about halfway through, and it's never really close after that. And I expect it to be the status quo. But we'll see.
I love this shit talking about Kyle when he's not around.
I would say it to him. I would 100%. Yeah, Kyle, I'll text it to him if I have service down here in the bunker, but I know you obviously have
it's
it
blocked.
Yeah, you have it lead-plated, so nothing goes out.
No technology.
No technology gets in or out of this.
That's why I said if you don't leave here, no one will ever know where
No
you're at.
technology and no cushions on these chairs, because boy, are they uncomfortable.
Next time you guys come, I have to
Can't
retrofit you with
stress
some
that
tin
enough.
hats. This keeps the aliens out of
Yeah,
your
if you
head.
can get me a tin hat with like a nice Cleveland sports team logo on it, I would really appreciate that, because I like to, I like to stick to my brand.
Next time you come down, I'll make
Oh, that's a
one
good
for
idea.
you.
We got that new elf, the new Baker Mayfield elf. We'll throw that right up on that son of a bitch. All right.
Perfectly right up here.
Thursday night, the Los Angeles Chargers are taking on the kickerless Kansas City Chiefs. Thursday night football could be possibly, honestly, the game of the week. This game looks really exciting. I know I was watching the Steel City Running Lates on Sunday, and they both said, Dave and Lee and maybe Chipper, I don't know. There's like 8 guys on that show. I don't even know who the fuck's talking at any given time. But they were breaking down this week's of game, the upcoming week of games, and they were saying that this is probably going to be the most exciting game of the week. And on paper, I 100% agree with that. When you look at these matchups, that is probably going to be the best game. Will it end up being the most exciting, fun game? Time will tell. Could be. But as of right now, I'm extremely excited for this game tomorrow. So the Los Angeles Chargers, 1-0, taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, also 1-0. Chargers won a close one against the Vegas Raiders. The Kansas City Chiefs blew out the Cardinals. What do you guys have? Let's start with Mr. Kyle's pick.
Well, I'm gonna change his pick. I am a huge fan of the Junior Seau San Diego Chargers.
I got some bad news for you down here. I know you probably don't have cable or internet or anything. They have moved from San Diego.
No.
Junior Seau has since demised by his own doing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, that's true. Maybe you guys know something about that. Did Junior Seau actually kill himself, or was this an inside job?
He's alive with Tupac right now in Cuba. Everybody knows this.
Well, Priest Holmes still plays for the Chiefs, right?
Yes, Priest Holmes is still there, and
well, I am
So
going
is,
to go.
it wasn't-
Deacon Jones too.
yeah, wasn't Joe Montana on the Chiefs for a little? Or
Well, just because
Christian Okoye still there.
Yeah,
just
killing it. Dwayne Bowe.
just because Junior Seau's dead, I have to go with the Chiefs on this one.
Okay, they're going to mourn him this week.
Yes, it's
10
a sad
years
moment.
after he killed
I'm
himself.
going to.
How long
It's a
would
sad
it mourn
moment.
me?
All right, well, I am going to also go with the Kansas City Chiefs. So if that's what Kyle picks, I'll write that down as well. But I think the Kansas City Chiefs, as I said last week, they're my early pick for the AFC to represent in the Super Bowl. I think they're damn good on both sides of the ball. The Chargers are also. They upgraded, of course, with Khalil Mack, with J.C. Jackson. Their offense has gotten better. Justin Herbert looks good. I still think Kansas City is the big brother of the AFC West, and I'm going with Kansas City. Next up, we have the Washington Commanders. I feel like you guys are going to have some good things to say about a team located in Washington near the old White House and all those fun buildings.
Get out!
And
Leave!
they are leaving town to go to Detroit to face the Lions, and the Lions actually had a pretty good game last week. They made it close against the Eagles, who were up to a huge lead, and the Washington Commanders had to rally late to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. So this is kind of a toss-up game. You've got a Detroit team who played really well against a team I thought would be a lot better in the Eagles, and you have a Commanders team who kind of played down to their opponent in the Jacksonville Jaguars. Are the Lions better than the Jags? Can the Commanders pull this off? I say no. I'm going Detroit.
Well, see, I know a little bit about this team. I've read some of the interwebs, some of the letters that come across my desk. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this Washington team loves a good insurrection every once in a while. They like to take over the buildings they enter. I have a good feeling about this Commanders team. I think they're going to go into Detroit and they're going to win this game. I'm going to pick the Commanders for Kyle.
Okay.
I concur.
Let me jot that down. That's an interesting pick. We got our first. It's kind of nice when Kyle and I pick against each other because last week I think it took us about 10 picks until we finally got to something different. So it's nice to see it right off the rip with the second game of the week. Might have one here. Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Tampa Bay, again, looked really good on defense. Their offense looked eh. And then New Orleans looked against Atlanta, who's a very shitty team, but they made a great comeback and they ended up winning the game at the end. I really don't know what to make of New Orleans right now with the first game without Sean Payton. They looked a little off. Jameis Winston, from what I heard, is a little banged up. He's not practicing all that well or that much so far. It's only Wednesday, albeit, but still, I'm gonna go. Well, let's see what we always swap. I forget to swap because Kyle's not here. It's throwing me off a little bit.
So I have a note here next to this one that Kyle,
Really quick, actually, speaking of notes, the dog pound actually came from Dixon and Minfield in the 80s. They said how loud it was on the end of the stadium, and the fans started being dogs, making it loud and hard to hear. So, okay, so I was right. I was close. Thank you, Mel.
What up, Mel?
Oh, that is Mel. I didn't even see it. He doesn't have his picture up. Thanks for trying to call, Mel. I appreciate that. The Fitz Trash Bin Cleaning Service LLC hotline is at the bottom of the screen underneath the ticker of our score, 440-444-7251. Give us a call. I think Tim may have gotten it fixed, but if not, it is what it is. We'll do our best to try to talk to you. Worst case, send it in as a comment like Mel did right there. We'll definitely read it on air. So yeah, back to the conspiracy.
So I have
or not conspiracy. I'm sorry, the truth, as you would call it.
Well, I have a note next to this that says history likes to repeat itself.
Okay.
And he says the Saints tend to win these games.
Sure. Last year they went 2-0 against the Brady Bucks.
And I don't like Kyle today, so I'm going to go with the Bucks. I think the
Who
Bucks are gonna
does?
win this one.
I'm actually going to go with Tampa Bay as well. I think Tampa Bay last week, again, their defense really looked good. The offense left a little bit to be desired, but that was, of course, against the Cowboys, who their defense is up and coming. I'm just going to go with Tom Brady. It's hard for me to pick against him, especially with New Orleans. New Orleans didn't really look that great to me last week.
There's a 2.5 point spread. Keep your eye on that because everybody knows the NFL is rigged.
100%.
Keep your eye on that point spread.
Crazy how
2.5.
close Vegas gets this
I
shit.
believe that Vince McMahon does run the NFL.
I'm pretty sure that's how
The
it goes.
storylines and everything. So
Got that right. Look at the Browns game last week. It was a fucking blowout, and then all of a sudden,
Nope,
old Vince
too
McMahon calls
fast.
down, and he's like, you know what? We need these numbers to get up a little bit.
And send the bitches to my room.
Next thing you know, you got
Send
touchdowns galore. You've got some penalties. The Panthers are back in it. And then he's like, all right, let the Browns win like they were supposed to. That's kind of how I look at it. I'll take it. Any win's good for me. All right. Next up, speaking of Baker, we have the Carolina Panthers taking on the New York Football Giants, who, of course, upset the Tennessee Titans last week. And the Panthers looked mediocre at best against the Browns. This is a tough one. I don't really know what to make of the New York Giants. However, they beat the Tennessee Titans, who, of course, last year, Mike Vrabel won Coach of the Year. They were the number 1 seed in the AFC, who, of course, lost their first game of the playoffs because Derrick Henry was kind of banged up. Derrick Henry looked pretty good. Tannehill looked okay. And their defense couldn't stop Saquon Barkley and the New York Giants' non-powerhouse offense. But they're going up against the Panthers' defense, who, again, is pretty good. Their corners ranked really high from Pro Football Focus up against the Browns. That's also because we don't have really good wide receivers. But they were rated really high. Carolina's defense is pretty good. Baker lit up the Giants. Like 2 years ago, we played them. I get it. Totally different teams, totally different years now. But I'm going to go Baker gets his first win. I'm going Carolina.
Well, it's a proven fact that anytime Baker plays a game within 10 miles of a Cheesecake Factory, he does really well. And
That's fair. That's fair.
According to my statistics, there is a Cheesecake Factory 5 miles away from MetLife Stadium.
That's accurate.
All right. So that's a win for
I'm-
Carolina
I'm
then?
going with the Panthers.
Okay.
Again, there is a 2 point spread on this. Keep your eyes on that. The game is going to be close.
Absolutely. I mean,
I like
they
where-
know what's
I like
happening.
where
You
this
got these
grape
teams
head's
that
at.
that's what I like about it is when there's a game. I don't look at the spreads personally because I like to try to just pick off my gut. And to know that the spread's that close, and in my head, I didn't know who I wanted to pick. It was a toss-up. It makes me feel good. Like the NFL knows this is going to be a toss-up game. I like that. Next up, we have the New England Patriots traveling to some really fucking shitty named stadium, Acrisure. What the fuck is that even? Acrisure in Pittsburgh. Never heard of it. But yeah, they are traveling to Pittsburgh. You have the New England Patriots who are coming off an embarrassing loss, really. Mac Jones got strip sacked.
They sold out to the man, and they
100% they sold out. They making your name. You went from Heinz Field, a global company. Everyone knows. When you think of ketchup, what's the only thing you think of? Well, you probably haven't bought ketchup in a long time, but it is Heinz, is what other people would pick.
French fries.
For everybody else, that's fair. That's fair. Dehydrated French fries, because everything down here has to have like a 10-year shelf life.
You put a little water on it, it grows.
And then the Pittsburgh Steelers lose Heinz Field, and they go to Acrisure, which just rolls right off the tongue, especially for those well-educated Pittsburgh people that say yins and things of that nature. And, most Steeler fans like to make out with their relatives. They're just very questionable people. They sometimes put things up their butt, apparently. They don't like to be on time for things. That's just the nature of Pittsburgh Steelers fans. And then you're going to expect these toothless hillbillies to say Acrisure correctly? There's no fucking chance.
They're too close to West Virginia.
Yeah, there's no way that the Steelers fans, if you interviewed 100 of them, I would say maybe a couple could actually say Acrisure. The rest of them are going to go, what the Acra who? The fuck you call me, boy? And they're going to yell at everybody because that's what Steeler fans do. They just get angry.
You're in Pittsburgh, partner, not Akron.
Yeah,
I'm picking up that you're not a fan.
This
of
town ain't big enough for you and all them teeth in your mouth, boy. They hate when you show up. That's just what Pittsburgh people are like. I was just there not that long ago. That's how they are. They're very rude. They're very rude.
And me and my wife are wanted for dining and dashing in Pittsburgh. We can never go back.
You did them a favor. You don't pay those people.
The fucking food was terrible.
Yeah, it's not good. Nothing good in Pittsburgh. What is it, Primanti Bros? It's just a fucking ripoff of paninis and a poor one at that. Not even a good sandwich because you threw a couple French fries and coleslaw on it. Doesn't make it a good sandwich, guys.
Chicago.
Yeah, that's a
Everybody
ripoff.
knows that.
Garbage.
Is Pittsburgh a city you're trying to move to? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm trying to really establish my
I
fan
couldn't
base there,
tell.
as you can tell.
Couldn't tell.
I'll be going there for an autograph signing in a couple of weeks. If anybody wants to meet me, I'll sign your tooth for some of you. It might only be one in your mouth. So we have New England against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh looked like shit for offensively last week. They looked terrible. The defense is what kept them in the game against the Cincinnati Bengals. And New England looked terrible. They couldn't slow down Tua, the Miami Dolphins offense. They couldn't do anything offensively. Their defense wasn't doing that great. I think, Miami, of course, has a great wide receiving core. Really quick, we got, even with some players hurt on the Steelers, the defense goes after Mac Jones and pushes him to make bad decisions. I got the Steelers. This is not the same Pats team. I agree completely. My concern, though, is that without TJ Watt, that defense is just not the same. When you're not getting that pressure on the quarterback, he has more time to throw, which is going to make it harder for guys like Fitzpatrick to make plays. That's what helps those guys. When TJ Watt's breathing down your neck, you have to make a quick, rash decision, and the Steelers' secondary takes advantage of that. Without TJ Watt doing that, Mac Jones is going to have that extra second or two for guys to get open. He's going to pick you apart because Mac Jones is a very accurate quarterback. So, spoiler alert, I'm going with the New England Patriots this week to win this game. I think Bill Belichick is going to come up with a really good game plan to shut down the already not very good Pittsburgh offense. You've got Najee Harris, who's banged up. Their offensive line sucks ass. You've got their defense is okay, but without TJ Watt, it's really bad. They're not bad. I won't say bad, but it's not nearly what it could be. So I think Bill Belichick's going to game plan to win here. He's not going to go 0-2. Give me a New England win.
I believe you guys agree because all I see next to this that Kyle wrote down is "fuck this team," and that's next to the Steelers. So I believe he's choosing the Patriots.
Did you read that right? When you look at the page, are you sure that that's what he put?
Yes, I'm
fucking name.
accurately this pick. No,
I'm not just positive. I'm sure.
I believe he is going Patriots as well, and I'm a huge fan of that Bill Belichick. He's an okay guy in my book.
I believe you should probably have a lot to talk about. The shit he's done behind the scenes. My God.
Right? And interesting fact, you guys want to take a wild guess what that point spread is?
2 points.
2 fucking points.
Yeah, it's going to be close for sure.
The NFL
Because again,
is
you have
rigged.
after week one, I think the NFL week one, it's hard to predict who's going to win a game because you don't know what a team's going to look like. You got new faces, new players, new coaches, etc. Everything's different. Week two, you kind of hope you kind of figured some people out, but with the Patriots, if they're like that all season, it's going to be a horrible year. And same thing with the Steelers. The Steelers on offense look terrible, so you kind of want to see, are they going to grow? Are they going to develop? What are we really going to get out of them this week? So a 2-point spread for that game actually makes a lot of sense. But I am going to go with New England, as is Kyle, apparently, because fuck Pittsburgh.
Aquasure about that.
You're damn right. I am 100% Aquasure. You have the 0-1 Indianapolis Colts heading down south a little further than Houston to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Interesting game. You have the Colts, who last week everybody thought was a lock to beat the Texans. Started off slow. That happened with a lot of teams. For whatever reason, some bad teams got off to really hot starts, and then the better teams kind of made their way back. The Colts did that. They weren't able to win. In overtime, they had a pretty easy field goal opportunity with Rodrigo Blankenship. He choked, and they cut him. So they are now looking for a new kicker. They don't fuck around. You miss that kick, you're gone. If you make us tie with the Texans, you better update that resume. So they do not have a kicker at the moment that I know of, unless they brought somebody up. I really don't even know. I just saw they waived Blankenship yesterday. But going down to Jacksonville, who looked decent against Washington. I think the Colts have a much better defense than the Washington Commanders. I think the Colts realistically should have a better offense than the Commanders as well, now that they have Matt Ryan and Jonathan Taylor. I don't know what Kyle's going to pick, but we'll start with him. Who does he have before I make my decision?
Kyle has the Colts circled here.
Okay, great minds think alike, because that's exactly who I'm going with as well. I think Jonathan Taylor is going to be a little too much for this Jacksonville team. Matt Ryan won't make the same mistakes that Carson Wentz was making last week that kept Jacksonville in the game. I'm going to go with the Colts. A lot of road wins this week I'm starting to see.
What's the point spread on that one, Greg?
That would be a 4-point spread with a funky number 4-point spread in an NFL. You have a 3-point score and
Who's
a
the home
7-point
team?
score. That is a good way.
Jacksonville's at home.
Okay.
Yep.
I would.
Yeah, I agree with Chipper. He said both offenses are going to be offensive in the Steelers-Patriots game. I agree with that completely. He is no lies detected, my friend.
Absolutely.
All right, next up, Miami taking on Lamar Jackson. This is an exciting game because you have the new revamped Miami with Mike McDaniel, the head coach. You've got Lamar Jackson, who just a few weeks ago tweeted that picture, or liked the picture of himself in a Dolphins jersey, because he could be an impending free agent. The Ravens don't want to pay him. He's from South Florida, so he would love to play for the Dolphins, and he would obviously be a huge upgrade over Tua. A lot of cool connections here, a lot of cool shit. I'm keeping my eye on this one. The Ravens offensively looked good, but again, they played the Jets. Their run game actually got shut down pretty decently by the Jets. They were able to win through the air. The problem, though, is that their defense is okay, but how can you really get a read off it when you're facing the Jets? You're facing 45-year-old Joe Flacco. How do I really feel about the Miami defense or the Baltimore defense? I'm not sure. And it's going to be tough for them. I know they have some injuries on the offensive line. They have some injured corners, etc. Their secondary is always hurt. And you're going up against one of the best wide receiving corps in football. You got Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and then Tua throwing the ball, Mike Gesicki at tight end. Pretty good offensive team here with the Dolphins. This is going to be a good matchup. I really want to go with Miami, but I don't want to continuously pick these road teams, because that would be like 5 in a row I've taken.
I just changed Kyle's pick on this one.
Okay, I respect that. You're allowed to do whatever you want, Carl. This is your bunker, your moment.
I have a conspiracy theory as to why. I'll let you go first, though.
I am going to go with Miami.
So he had the Ravens winning, it looked like.
Okay.
But I'm 100% behind this conspiracy that I think Lamar wants to lose on purpose to Miami.
Bingo, buddy.
I think he's going to throw the
Here
game.
we go. Are you hearing something, Carl?
I've
Your
heard
inside sources or
some rumblings.
the voices inside your head, whatever
some
wherever you hear 'em?
conversations that he's going to go out and he's going to give the ball up a couple times, a couple interceptions. He's going to throw the game. He doesn't want to lose. He doesn't want to win to this team. He's going to throw the game, and the Dolphins are going to win this one by 2 touchdowns.
I actually heard through my sources that he's going to be playing with a Dolphins jersey underneath the Baltimore jersey.
I would love that.
I did have a source say he's going to wear a T-shirt, like an orange T-shirt with the
Or maybe
Dolphins
even
logo.
a thong, like a jockstrap with the Miami Dolphins logo on the front.
We have the same concept.
Maybe
We
some
have
Dolphins
connections.
anal beads.
Yeah.
See?
Now we're
Are
cooking.
these the ones you wore to my bunker today? Or
I'm going to let him go ahead and get those.
are they
next to
dolphin-shaped anal beads?
Let's just hope that they're still orange when they come out.
No, actually, they were dolphin colored on that. Or was that?
Yeah, so I honestly believe he doesn't want to win this game, so I'm going with the Dolphins. I changed
I see
Kyle's
that
pick to
too.
the Dolphins.
Okay. I mean, I look at it as a Browns fan. I'm really excited for the future of the AFC North, because you had Cincinnati shit the bed, and you hope that's a sign of things to come. Their offensive line still looked really, really bad. Joe Burrow got destroyed, made a bunch of mistakes. Their defense looks shaky. Their special teams is fucked now with the long snapper getting hurt. That's great news for the Browns. Flip side, you have the Steelers. Again, the Steelers won, which is okay. In another questionable, shaky game, their offense looks terrible. They have injuries that they can't stay healthy. It's great news for the Browns. Now you got the Ravens, who looked really good. The Ravens went out and beat the Jets, but again, it is the Jets. Now they're going up against Miami. I would absolutely love to see the Dolphins just exploit weaknesses, show the Browns some good things to watch on film, show teams how to beat the Ravens and how to contain Lamar Jackson. Because I believe last time they played a few years ago, I remember I was actually coming home from a flight. I think it was my wedding trip. I was coming home from Punta Cana, and I was watching. It was Thursday Night Football. I'm watching the game. It was the Ravens against the Dolphins, and I remember the Dolphins won that game. They shut down Lamar that night. So maybe there is something to that. Something about him facing the old Miami Dolphins.
You gotta trust the little birds who tell you stuff.
Dude, do you believe in birds? I've always heard a conspiracy. Some people
They don't have no fucking birds or things.
Birds aren't real. I've always heard that.
They watch us.
Birds are just robotic information.
I've always heard
devices.
that.
They started that in the 60s. They used to have a fucking big old camera around the front of them.
Mm-hmm.
The information's out there.
Back when Grape was a kid.
Back when I was a kid, I actually caught the first fucker on accident. Set a little trap out there. I said, this motherfucker has a Polaroid camera attached to him.
I always heard that was one of my favorite conspiracy theories I've ever heard is that birds aren't real. That's like the coolest one. I love that one. And there's a lot of people that like back that up.
I'm pretty sure the CIA, FBI, everyone's tapped into the bird network.
When was the last time you heard the birds singing in the morning like you used to?
Absolutely. And it's weird how they get quiet all of a sudden. They just stop.
The old man
it's like
the one to change the batteries.
It's when they start recording.
It's like somebody unplugged them like a router and they had to plug them back in.
You got to reset.
Give it about 10 seconds.
Network.
And when in the hell have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
True.
Can I stay?
This guy right here is speaking to my heart right now.
Now, we'll have to transfer from one Will Ferrell movie to another. Did you just become best friends?
We just became best friends.
Call me Dragon.
You can play my drum set anytime you want to.
I'm going to put my fucking balls on your drum set.
I have one in the back.
Can I put my balls on it?
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
Look at that.
And bunk beds.
I
There's
knew
all kind of shit here we can make
this
bunk
was
beds
going
with.
to be a perfect match.
This
bringing
is
Grape
how
down
we
here.
do it.
Are those power tools? No, we're brushing our teeth.
Boats and fucking holes in the bunker.
Well, we're almost done.
Fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Wine mixer.
A fucking Catalina wine mixer.
All right.
Oh, the point spread by that. By the
yeah.
way, 3.5. Interesting.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Now we got the dirty. Speaking of birds, we got the Dirty Birds, the Atlanta
Ooh,
Falcons
they
taking on the
go
Los
fucking
Angeles
filthy.
Rams.
Jesus.
I've already seen the future in this game.
In LA, you have the Falcons who started off really, really hot against the New Orleans Saints, who have a pretty good defense, and then they were figured out, and New Orleans shut them down. New Orleans came back, won the game by 1, going up against a very, very angry, talented Rams team. In LA, they're flying across the country from Atlanta to LA, taking on, again, a Rams team that was just fucking embarrassed on national TV a couple weeks ago. I think a lot of these, I'm guessing Aaron Donald gave them a hell of a pep talk, or at least swung his helmet at a few guys on his team after the cameras went off. And I think the Rams are going to come out ready to play. I think they are going to dominate this game. I could see Aaron Donald walking away with a handful of sacks because the Atlanta offensive line isn't very good. Give me the Rams.
So I've seen this already happen, this game. What's going to happen is that the Falcons are going to come out gigantic lead, at least two touchdowns. They're going to go into the third quarter thinking they're going to win this game.
Is the score going to be 28-3?
28-3.
Because I remember them blowing that lead in the Super Bowl.
And they're going to lose the game.
If you say 28-3 to an Atlanta Falcons fan, I think their heads just explode immediately.
Yes.
Or actually, I heard Atlanta's kind of a dangerous town. Maybe you just get shot if you'd say that.
Oh,
Well, they're in L.A.
I said if you say it to an Atlanta fan.
That's true.
I have the biggest conspiracy of all. That's my backyard.
Hit
There
me.
are people going down by the pound in L.A. We got 6 killers. 6 rappers got killed there.
Yeah,
They're
I saw
gonna make
that.
the whole Atlanta Falcons team check in, or they going to send the shooters, and there's a 10.5 point score difference.
Ooh, I like
Somebody's
that.
getting
I'm
robbed for
very
their
confident
shit.
in the Rams. Yeah, I saw
Somebody's
that
getting
dude-
robbed for their shit in L.A. Check in, guys.
I saw that guy got shot at Roscoe's or whatever the other day.
Don't go there.
Yeah.
Don't go there.
And guys, for the love of God, if you're a celebrity, do not give your location
Please
away
don't.
on the
This is
internet.
illegal.
I mean, Conspiracy Carl clearly will never give his location away.
Fucking
But
no way.
all of you out there, save your location for yourself. You're
not
making
worth your
yourself a
life.
target.
And don't wear your shit.
That too. Yeah, what the hell? You don't need to show off.
Why are you going with $200,000 worth of jewelry into a neighborhood full of people who have $5 combined?
At a Roscoe's.
Chicken and waffles.
Yeah, Kyle chose the Rams here. I'm going to stick with the Rams. But
Safe
it's going to
bet.
be a very
Safe pick.
interesting game.
But are chicken and waffles to die for?
Oh, fuck.
Not
Yeah,
though,
they are.
not right there on Main Street, Roscoe's. I'm from that shit. You know, man, listen.
That does put a whole new meaning to
Yeah,
it.
Main Street chicken and waffles.
If they come out with a commercial where they're like, Roscoe's, it's to die for. Oh, my God. I would fucking love
Market
it.
that shit, right?
Tim better get paid. Tim better get paid for that. I'll represent you in court if you want to sue, brother. You tell me.
Too early? We're going to hell, all of us.
I'm okay with that.
Can I serve my time in this bunker?
Save me a seat because, you got the age gap on me, but I'll see you there.
Yeah, I got a good head start on you.
Next up, the NFC West. You have the Seattle Seahawks 1-0, surprising team. I'd say that's the most surprising win of the week, in my opinion. Going up against the San Francisco 49ers, Grapes team. Now, again, I asked the question earlier in the episode, are the Niners that bad, or was that a fluke? It's hard to even determine what that's going to be like this week because the Seahawks aren't a very good team. So you hope the Niners are going to come out and dominate, but at the same time, if they don't, I don't know what to make of it. Maybe they are just at the same level of the Seahawks. I don't like Trey Lance. I don't think he's a very good quarterback. Losing Elijah Mitchell is going to kill their run game. I don't know. This is a really tough one. I'll let Kyle make his pick first because I really don't. Let me get the point spread. It won't make a decision. It won't determine my decision, but I just want to hear it first.
Well, it was a 9.5 point spread.
Is it really 9.5?
Yeah. So
I feel like it's
somebody's
going to be closer.
I think that it's going to be the battle of the shittiest teams and somebody. Yeah.
I mean, then again, I don't even remember. I'd have to look it up. I don't know what the point spread was for the Niners-Bears last week. I'm guessing the Bears were favored pretty heavily, and they ended up losing by 9. So we'll see what happens.
Kyle chose the 49ers.
That's a good pick.
Where are they playing?
It's in San Francisco.
Well, I would probably go with them too because it is legal to take a shit in the streets of San Francisco right now. But
yeah,
had the fucking vaccine.
It's encouraged from what I heard. Yeah, they tell everybody to take a shit.
And you can shoot up too. You can shit and shoot up.
Do whatever the hell you want in San Francisco. It's a lawless county over there.
Straight ratchet.
We call that society control. Go shoot up in the corner somewhere.
Shoot up and shit right there.
Darwin effect.
It is.
Survival of the fittest.
And the shittest.
Now we have speaking of shitty, Cincinnati Bengals, who looked like complete ass on Sunday, taking on the Dallas Cowboys, who A, looked like ass, and B, will be without Dak Prescott. For me, this is an easy one. I'm going Bengals all day, every day. I don't even really need to check in on the score. I feel like this one's going to be pretty cut and dry.
Kyle has the Bengals as well.
Easy pickings right there. Next up, we're going to fly through these last few so we can break down the Browns and Jets. We have Houston at Denver. I think Denver gets their shit together. They're going to win this one. No ties here, ladies and gentlemen. Houston gets their first loss, and Denver gets their first win. That's my pick. What do we got?
Broncos for Kyle as well.
We got a comment from Mel. Let's take a look at that. We got 49ers ain't as bad as we thought, which is, I'm questionable right now. I don't really know how to feel. They played a very nasty weather game, exactly. Lance didn't look bad, but if he slips up when Jimmy G, Jimmy G is just waiting. That dude stays warmed up, ready to go. He knows it's his time at any minute. Don't think they'll need him this Sunday. I feel like with that 9-point
1-year deal, he knew
that 9-point spread that Vegas thinks this is going to be a blowout. So I don't think the Niners are going to. Maybe Jimmy G plays in garbage time at the end of the day just to give Trey Lance a rest. That could be about the only time he's going to see the field, but we'll see. Arizona at Las Vegas. Vegas looked really good last week. Arizona did not. Speaking of conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. Kyle, I know, had mentioned before that he wanted to make sure you knew that he believes in that Kyler Murray Call of Duty conspiracy.
100%
So what did he...
true theory. There's no doubt. There has been data after data proven the fact that at any weekend where the video game Call of Duty has a XP weekend, Kyler Murray plays like ass. And they had one last weekend, and what happened? I believe he lost.
That's what my sources tell
There is not one this weekend, and that's why I'm putting the stamp of my approval on this pick that the Cardinals are going to win this game.
Now, Carl, you don't get out a lot. You don't know what's really happening in the world.
I know everything.
This weekend, fun fact, the beta for the new Call of Duty comes out.
Doesn't it, though?
Kyler Murray is not going to open up his fucking playbook this week. He is going to be so glued to that new Call of Duty that he's not going to see the ass kicking that the Raiders are going to bestow upon him on Sunday. Give me the Las Vegas Raiders.
Area 51 at its finest.
circle back around.
all because of Call of Duty. We'll see what happens with that beta. I'm excited to play it myself.
Fuck yeah.
It looks really fun. It's going to be way better than Vanguard or whatever last year sucked.
Yeah, man,
Hated
I beat
it.
that shit really quick too.
I played it for like a
PS5,
weekend, and I'm like, I just spent $75 on this fucking thing, and I never touched it again.
and it took up all my memory.
Oh, it's so much.
I've
It
got-
takes up my whole PS5.
I've got Mario down here if you guys want to play afterwards.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, regular
Mike Tyson
Super
Punch-Out?
Nintendo, or are we talking
Oh, old
NES?
school. We got some Tecmo Bowl if you want to play.
Do you have an Atari?
Yeah, I've been playing double dribble since
I do.
since I got here.
I do. See, he found it. We got Pong too for Atari.
I like that. I love Atari.
I even got a River Rapids for Commodore 64 back in the day.
Never heard of that.
Am I mistaken? My eyes deceiving me? Is that a Rock'em Sock'em Robot set you got back there, bro?
Oh, absolutely.
We are fucking gonna get busy around
And
here.
It's
I'll
gonna be a
tell
fun
you
night.
what.
If you
Fuck
look
yeah.
next to it, there's Light Bright that says "Welcome" right next to
Holy,
it.
It's just got and a fucking etch a sketch. Look
Yep.
at this shit here. It's like a fucking.
I don't play. These are all new technology toys.
I'm worried now that Grape's never going to leave the bunker.
Hey,
But hey,
man.
more power to you. He's got plenty of dehydrated food. You'll make it work.
I used to eat that shit all the time in fire camp.
Speaking of eating shit, the Green Bay Packers ate a ton of shit on Sunday. Aaron Rodgers especially. He spent the offseason talking about ayahuasca and all this weird shit. He's a hippie now. He's getting astrology tattoos on him like he's a fucking high school girl. I don't understand it. I love the guy still, but he's got to get his shit together. And I think this is the week he does that against the Chicago Bears. I'm going Green Bay in a turnaround game. I think they figure shit out.
I was under the impression that Aaron Rodgers owns the city of Chicago, so I'm going to stick with
He
the
doesn't own it. He
Packers.
just has a key to the city.
I see. I'm going to stick with the Packers on that one. I agree with Kyle's pick here.
Great pick. And then Monday Night Football, we've got ourselves a double header for some reason. The Tennessee Titans are taking on the Buffalo Bills. Quick predict here. Buffalo looks like the best team in football. Tennessee just lost to the fucking Giants. I don't think they rebound against the Bills. I'm going Buffalo.
Both of those teams, by the way, are 10-point spreads.
Are they really the Monday night games?
Yeah, Chicago and Tennessee.
Oh,
and
that's
Buffalo.
Sunday. Okay, yeah.
Well, Buffalo is a 10-point.
No shit. Okay, good. I'm
yeah.
happy with that pick,
Kyle
man.
has Buffalo winning this one as well.
All right. Now, this one could be another game of the week. Truthfully, you have the surprisingly decent Minnesota Vikings taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know who to pick here. I'll let Kyle go first. This is a tough one.
Kyle has the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, that's a good pick.
Eaglets.
Ooh, I am going to roll the dice. I think Minnesota's for real. I'm going with the Vikings. Give me Minnesota. Kyle is going to take Philly. And that, of course, brings us to the Jets and the Browns. Not a whole lot to really break down this week, if I'm being honest. You've got a very bad Jets team who I won't say this is going to be a gimme game. The Browns offense looked like it's going to struggle a lot this year. The Jets defense is actually pretty decent. They just drafted Sauce Gardner. They got Quinnen Williams, one of the best defensive tackles in football. They've got pretty good linebackers with C.J. Mosley. They've put a lot of effort into that defense. The safeties for them are garbage. Do not trust Hurts against that Vikings defense. I agree. For some reason, I got a really good feeling about the Vikes this year, and I think they're going to expose Philly a little bit. Philly almost blew it against Detroit, and I think Minnesota's 10 times the team Detroit is. So, again, it was week one. A lot of fluky shit happened. We'll see what happens, but I'm comfortable with my pick of the Vikings. But yeah, the Jets defense, it's good. It's not great. It's not elite by any stretch. Their offense is anemic. You have Joe Flacco, who's a fucking statue. Their offensive line sucks. You've got Myles Garrett, who's going to be going up against some really, really shitty tackles, and he had a field day against the top 10 draft pick in Ike Ekwonu on Sunday for the Panthers. Imagine what he's going to do against some fucking undrafted bums on the Jets. I think he is going to eat. Unless Joe Flacco gets rid of the ball quickly, which I don't think anything in Joe Flacco's life is quick because he's old as fuck and very slow and stoic. I think the Browns are going to win, but I think it's going to be a little closer for comfort than we really want. I could see this being a low-scoring game. Maybe give me like a let me think of the math here really quick. Carry the 2. It is? Okay.
Yes.
That's not too high, actually.
No, it's not. It's low scoring.
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. But give me the Browns. Give me the Browns 24-10. 24-10. And I say that I know 14 points sounds like a lot, but I really think it's going to be closer till the end. Maybe we get that, we're only up by one score, then we get a late touchdown to kind of seal it. Maybe a good run from Chubb or Hunt, something like that. But the Jets' run defense is their bread and butter, and I get it. We had Baker at the time. But a couple of years ago, we played the Jets. It was the COVID game. We were without Landry. We were without some of our offensive linemen. And they shut Baker down. They caused him to make a bunch of turnovers. We got embarrassed, and the Jets were one of the worst teams in football. I get it. Baker's gone. Jacoby Brissett, I'm not saying he's better than Baker. They're not saying they're similar, but he's not an elite quarterback either. So I'm very curious to see what this Jets team does defensively. But I trust Stefanski to figure this out. Browns win.
Kyle wrote down 4 points and a score guess. Point 1 was give DPJ more chances.
Which they did last week. Very involved.
Bring the pressure. Jacoby needs to take more chances over the top. And attack Sauce, whatever that means.
Okay. Yeah.
And his point score guess is 21.
I assume he's talking about Sauce Gardner, Ahmed Gardner, the first-round pick.
I wasn't sure if he meant just drinking.
One of 3 first-round picks. Don't forget, they also took Garrett Wilson and Jermaine Johnson, the defensive end. Jets
he says
3.
21-14 is the score guess.
Okay, good choice. Jacoby beat Baker. I agree, Mel. Jacoby drove us down and got us that fucking win. Is that the chopper again I hear out there? It must be ready for us to go. That is our time at the end. It is time to go around the horn with just the tip. As always, we will start with Timbuktu. Then we're going to make our way left to right, coming to me. And we will start right now.
What up, people? What up, people?
My man.
As I
He's moving in.
Yeah, as I sit here in the
I made that bed special for him.
I love it here.
it looks like it's reinforced
I
for
was
me
gonna
too.
say it's reinforced.
So-
Yeah, metal framing and
fuck
everything.
that, it's finest.
As I
Got a
sit
scale
here
back there.
and looking at the ladder, knowing that I can't climb up it.
Told you guys aren't leaving.
Not with that attitude, Tim.
No, but see, that's exactly what what's changed. My attitude as far as that go is like believing in yourself. Like you have to really believe in yourself wholeheartedly, and this is kind of my tip of the week. No matter what people say, you can go into a new job, a new situation, a new position, and find a veteran, someone that may know a lot about something. That doesn't mean the advice that they give you is going to necessarily pertain to you. How you got into that position might have been by your own doing, and you carried yourself by doing what you do best, and that's being you. So I want to say to people, believe in yourself. Always be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else. Be 100% authentically yourself. I can't even say the word. That's how authentic it is. But with that being said, with comedy, I would use myself as a example. A lot of people, they've been in comedy game for a while and they always want to give advice, which don't get me wrong, I accept it. I always want, I appreciate, somebody at least trying to give me that advice. But comedy is subjective. So, what I'm saying might not resonate with you, but if I got 100 other people is resonating with, I know I'm doing a good job. So, I want to continue to be able to bring my style of comedy and enjoy it and finally make it up this fucking ladder.
Tim, I respect the fuck out of that. I love having you on the show. I love this new attitude for you. I like the old attitude, if I'm being honest. I loved everything about Timbuktu, so you can't do any wrong in my eyes. Do your thing, man. Honestly, be yourself. Don't apologize to anybody. Be yourself. Nobody can tell you otherwise. You get one shot at life. Be you. Be original.
I guess I'll go next. And oh, look, it's me back. I'm Kyle's back, but this is too serious. I had to peel back the curtain a little bit here. Holy hairline, my God. Damn.
Jeez.
I'm glad we can't see this Facebook movie anymore. But anyways, so this is this entire year for me has been kind of a mental kind of rebuilding. A lot of self-help, look inwards type situations. I've been reading a lot of books, listening to audiobooks, reading books, and trying to kind of just like kind of build stuff back in and try to rethink how I act and whatnot. But one of the books I read was a book called Unfuck Yourself last year. This is the follow-up to that. Literally it just says stop doing that shit and self-sabotage and demand your life back. It's a good book. Kind of just, it's quick. It's a quick read. It's only probably like I'd say 300 pages. But it goes through just kind of how to rethink what you're doing and why you can fix yourself and how you can fix yourself and how you could maybe put a better image of yourself out there and stuff. And self-sabotage happens in your day-to-day life at work, with friends, with family. But this I definitely recommend it, especially if you just I was listening to audiobook on my way to and from work. It's a 30-minute drive every day. It was a quick listen for me, but it was kind of one of those things where you're driving, like kind of light bulbs go off. You're like, yeah, okay, I can try that today, try that tomorrow, and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I recommend it. But I recommend self-help for anybody. I mean, let's not joke here. Mental illness is a serious role nowadays, and if you don't take it serious, it could catch up to you, and and be that demon in your closet. So it's a serious thing. Take a look at it.
Absolutely. I've read multiple self-help books, so I personally didn't really like the first Unfuck Yourself. Wasn't for me. I've read other ones that I did like, though. So whatever works for you, there are a million options out there. If you do need any help, or if you need maybe that little kick in the ass, plenty of books, plenty of friends out there. Reach out to people.
Yep.
We take mental health so seriously on the show. Never be afraid to ask for help, to go to anybody if you're feeling anything. Do not feel ashamed at all. It's perfectly normal. Everybody's going through it. Just because people might pretend that they're not, they hide it behind a facade. Take it seriously. Reach out. That's the only thing you can do. Take care of yourself. And with that being said, let's get to Grape.
Howdy do. I go by Grape. Can we show that picture that I was telling these guys about while we do
Yes. You sent that to Tim, right?
Yeah, I sent it to Tim. So I'm making an interesting transition here. I've been a criminal and a gangbanger and a drug dealer. There's the ball. There's that proud uncle
That's
moment.
awesome.
Fuck, you see that fucking face? That's to live for right there, and that's to die for.
That's
so with
amazing.
That being said, yeah, fucking proud uncle moment.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I decided to make a bunch of changes in my life. I quit doing a bunch of the things that I was doing. I decided to focus on being the best podcaster I can be and getting some shit ton of information out. Being, above all, being a decent human being to everybody you encounter, not just black, white, Mexican, Chinese, other. Everybody should treat everybody with a certain amount of dignity and respect. My new thing is to make sure I lead by example and hopefully sharing, promoting, and being involved with people outside of my color boundary and outside of gangster Grape will rub off, because dopeness is infectious and smiling is infectious and being good to people is infectious. Absolutely. And maybe we can spread this shit faster than COVID because we got the vaccine here.
Mm-hmm.
Amen to that.
That's all I got, brothers.
Absolutely, man.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Yes. Yeah, Grape's a great dude. I'm happy as hell that I got to meet him in person. He invited me on a show. I love it. He's welcome here anytime. He is a part of the Red Line family.
The bunker to him?
Oh, anytime. You can move into the bunker for all I care. It ain't mine. It's Conspiracy Carl's.
Carl left a note that says no.
Okay, no one's moving in.
He'll let you know when
we're
you're
welcome
able
back.
to come back, though.
I'm the only person that can move in because I can't get out this motherfucker.
Well, I understand trust issues. It just meant me.
Tim's got to live here forever by default.
Tim's stuck here, literally.
Somebody said that.
All right, my just the tip is a book that I read a few weeks ago. I wanted to do it last week, but that Elvis movie fucking blew me away, so I had to do Elvis last week. It's a book called The Devil Takes You Home. That is a picture I took. I rented it out of the Cuyahoga County Library. Great book. It starts off, it's kind of fucked up. It's really sad. I'm not going to lie to you. It starts off as a family who life's going great. It's a Mexican guy. His family, they're Hispanic. They live in America. They're down in Texas. They're dealing with a little bit of racism and whatnot. But at the end of the day, he's got his family. He's got his wife. He's got his daughter. Then things go bad. His daughter gets leukemia. The medical bills start piling up. He gets fired from his job for missing too much work. He starts to do some questionable things to make money to pay those bills off now that he's unemployed. Him and his wife split up. Unfortunately, spoiler alert, it happens within like the first chapter. Their daughter dies. So he takes a total turn on his life and his perspective, and he decides to really dive deep into these dirty things that he wants to do to make money. He goes out for one final job, and they run into a ton of obstacles along the way, and they learn a lot. They meet some people that he doesn't feel comfortable being around. Some things happen that, normal people shouldn't have to experience. And I don't want to spoil anything, but it crosses a lot of genres that I fucking love. And if I tell you the genres, it'll give it away. So you have to read the book to really understand it. Just think drug cartel meets, I don't even know how to describe
John
it.
Q?
No, more magical than that, like mystical things, like Game of Thrones almost. Like there's some shit that happens in this book that combines with the drug cartels and stuff where I didn't see it coming. I don't want to give any more away than that. Love the book, though. For me, it was a 5 out of 5. Check it out. The Devil Takes You Home by Gabino Iglesias.
Was this
Loved
a recommendation from Jesselnick?
It was.
Yeah.
Yep.
First book club book, maybe?
I highly recommend it.
Fuck yeah,
I
do
love
that.
it, dude. I love it. It's a great one. It was a quick read. I blew through it. Check it out. That's going to do it, though, for this week of Talking About Balls. I don't know. For some reason, we got booted off Facebook. I'm not exactly sure what happened. We'll look into that. But for those of you that want to listen, this will, of course, go up on our podcast. You can see it, Talking About Balls, on Apple. It's on everything, Spotify, the good shit. On behalf of everyone Talking About Balls, marijuana is not a drug. I used to suck dick for coke.
You
Now
ever
that's
suck
an
dick for
addiction.
coke?
You
I
ever
seen
suck
'em.
some dick for marijuana?
I seen him.
Have a good one.
Huh?
R.I.P.